Showtime in 60 seconds. "45 seconds. "30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
For that, it's a good 20 years away now.
Oh, it'd be more. Every bit of that.
You might want to get Coben, your son, up to speed on the knees moment. Chinese, Vietnamese, Philippines.
The grandbabies, they're gonna have. They're gonna.
Let me tell you something about my
food.
grandbabies. They're gonna be Chinese next thing you know.
Won't be steak no more. Be steak foo young.
Wow. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We got a big whodunit. Lummy's probably a nervous wreck. I just take for granted as soon as I start the show that my headphones are where I've put them, where I left them last. So, we're getting ready. The show starts. Music hits. Monday, June 16th, 2025. By the way, today would be the 1989. So what would that be from today?
36 years?
Would it be 36 years? 2025 minus 1989 equals 36 years. 36 years ago today was my first day, my first night on B96 in Chicago. June 16th, 1989 was my very first night on B96 in Chicago.
They're honoring you all week.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
They are not.
Call up with your favorite sponge member. You win a prize pack.
Yeah. So anyway, Lummy, I go on the air, as I have for 40-plus years now, and I go to grab my headphones on my little spot right here, and oh, my Lord, there's a lot of things. First of all, my peg, my little hook is completely turned around. Let me. Well, who was last here, and what is their problem?
Well, I don't know why the peg would be messed up. I know that how Colton normally and I do it is that he puts my stuff back down here, and then he goes up and puts everything up there, and then takes the trash out.
Well, let me ask you a question. Who sits here?
I did on Friday.
Well, I don't want anybody else but you or Seth here.
Of course, yes.
No.
Oh, Colton runs it sometimes.
He's
cool.
Does Colton run it sometimes?
He has. He has before. He used to run it back in the day for Kevin Hazlett.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm just saying, when I have you...
You don't trust Colton's button-pushing ability? Lummy's the one who turned your hook around?
I don't know.
No,
Lummy,
I don't know about the hook.
But my headphones were on the ground, and not plugged in.
I don't know about the hook. I know that there was some
Could you have made a mistake and you forgot to plug my headphones on and you just let them throw down to the ground?
Well, I definitely wouldn't have thrown them to the ground. The hook might have been moved. I do know that the mouse fell back behind the thing, and it was Colton had to crawl back behind there. So maybe he bumped it off, but he's pretty good at usually picking it up. So I'm going to take the blame on this one. I'm very sorry about that.
All right, no big deal. Long as you take the blame for it.
Let's just cancel the Friday show, man. It's bringing you too much trouble, Sponjo.
No, I don't. Well, no, I think they're okay. Lummy's taking the responsibility. It was just it's not a big deal. It used to be, Lummy, though, I was so particular that nobody could even sit back here.
Well,
I've gotten so soft now that, hell, hard telling who's all back here.
Well, I remember back in the day that even getting your trash wasn't allowed.
Right. Joe Exotica today at 9. And then on today's after show, UFC Hall of Famer Randy Couture, he actually is trying to drive the Skag Pro Mod NHRA drag car, and he's trying to get his pro NHRA license, and Skag's backing him. And I don't know if he's competing this weekend or not, but I'm going to have Randy on at 11. So it'll be Joe Exotica at 9 and Randy Couture at 11.
Bubba, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is weight an issue? Isn't Randy Couture a big guy?
No, I mean, realistically, Dan, if weight's not an issue when you have that much horsepower. You know what I'm saying?
So weight becomes less of a factor?
Yes, when you have that much horsepower.
Okay.
You know, when you...
I mean, I know you're always trying to shave, a pound off a car, but...
Yeah, but when you have...
They don't have to be small like horse jockeys, right?
No. When you're in a midget car, like a USAC midget, and you only have 450 horsepower, 500, then yes, weight, every pound of rotating and or, solid weight, it does make a huge difference, especially with the characteristics of when the car's turning. But in a straight line with 4,000 or 5,000 horsepower, then it really doesn't
20
matter.
pounds would make a difference.
Yeah.
Would you have the ideal body build to be a driver, Bubba?
No, I would not.
You don't? Okay.
No, I'd probably be the clutch guy, which is the one that gets the dirtiest and has to lift these really heavy, dirty ass hot clutches.
Oh no, is that on the pit crew?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it is. So Randy Couture at 11, Joe Exotica at 9. Dan, how did your weekend go?
Actually, it was really nice. I had a good weekend.
I did too. I actually had a lot of rest / reflection free time this weekend.
Oh, that's
now,
nice.
yesterday was a little rough. It was Father's Day. Mm-hmm. I wished my father, Doug, happy Father's Day. I also got him his favorite thing is Omaha Steaks.
Oh, nice.
Which, by the way, I think we have an Omaha Steak special going on right now. If after you get done checking out, go to the promo code, type in ARMY, and I think that there's an additional 35% off or something.
Paper Towel Willie, $500.
Wow, thank you, guys.
That's huge, and we need it, man. We've been slow. We've been really slow. Summertime gets slow for us sometimes, so... We've been slow, but wow. Where'd that come from?
Paper Towel Willie.
God, I love him. And he lives in
North Carolina.
He lives in North Carolina. And he drives down and helps and
Did he have problems from the storms?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
Paper Towel Willie. $500.
He drove down here to give that Mustang to Caps and Creamsicle, who lost everything.
Yeah.
He did.
So anyway, and plus there's some other business we're doing with Paper Towel Willie that I can't quite get into right now. So this weekend seemed to be, first of all, I was all excited for Friday. My Pacers looking good. They're they got home court advantage. They come out to a lead, and then they completely get outscored 31-19 in the fourth quarter. They look stupid. And listen, I do know a lot. I do know. Growing up in Indiana, it's indoctrined or indoctrinated. Which one would it be, Dan?
Indoctrinated.
Basketball is indoctrinated into you. Even if you don't play, you know a lot about basketball. You do. And so I don't know a lot about basketball, but I know, Lummy, that I don't need my 7-foot guy. What's the guy's name? Turner.
Miles Turner.
I don't need Miles Turner out there in the fourth quarter going 0 for 6 for 3-point land and 3 for 10 in field goal land. And I know this. I know my main dude is Halliburton. I don't need him sitting on the bench at the start of the fourth, and I don't need him shooting 9 field goals. He was 4 for 9 and then 2 for 4 3-point. I mean, don't if you're going to win this thing, just like Oklahoma's going to win on the backs of that one dude, God, the MVP, what's that guy, SGA?
Yeah.
My God. Now that guy, if Halliburton would be taking the shots that SGA is.
Well, they're not. I mean, the Pacers have gotten to where they are, not necessarily with Halliburton scoring 30 every night. I mean,
but he's got to score 24. He can't score 12.
They can spread the love around when other guys are scoring. It's just like Benedict Mathurin wasn't scoring. Like, it just if their bench isn't delivering, yeah. I mean, I thought they played well.
I mean, Oklahoma's 34 for 38 in the free throw line. Meanwhile, Indiana's 24 out of 33. There's 11 points right there. You gave away 11 points just on the free throw line. True. I mean, you're going to lose every time.
He's got his stats.
I'm just saying. Which is ridiculous. When I saw Turner in the fourth quarter, when it was, you saw it, Seth. It was going back and forth in the fourth quarter. It was a great game, and you got all of your big dudes that are out there and spread out on the three. You're not gonna. If you have to rely on 3-pointers to win the game, you're not going to win the game.
But they've been relying. I mean, I think they're the.
Well, it finally caught up to them on Saturday night.
They just choked it up at the end. I don't know what happened, if they got tired at all, but they were fouling a lot, and I don't know. I think Indiana's a great team, and Game 5's tonight, so.
I think Indiana has to put pressure on them the entire time, and I think Halliburton has to stop passing. Shoot the fucking ball.
Oh, my.
Don't kick it out to Turner, that's a 7-foot guy out there at the top of the key that's going to go 0 for 6. I'd rather have Halliburton drive it in. You got far better percentages.
Well, let's get Bubba Carlisle in there. And
get Rick Carlisle on the phone immediately.
Let's get you to OKC by tip-off tonight.
I mean, I can help. I'll be like, listen, Halliburton, here's the deal. If you get within 10 foot, isn't that how far the free throw line is? 10 foot. If you get to the free throw line and you're driving and you're to the free throw line, do some whoop-de-doop kind of move that's going to probably either get you fouled or at least somewhat of a shot. Instead of kicking it out to dumbass Turner, they went 0 for 6 in the 3-point line.
So you want him to take more shots in the paint?
Yeah, I want him to take more shots, period.
No.
And God, can somebody, I mean, they put their best guys on this SGA guy, but it's the first time that I've really paid attention to this guy. This guy's the real deal. There's a reason why this guy's the MVP. I haven't seen anybody as smooth as him since Jordan. I mean, he has very much Jordan-type qualities.
Wow.
He's the kind of guy that can go in the air, readjust, and make the shot. He is good. He is good.
It's funny, Ed, and I haven't heard anybody compare him to Jordan in any such way, but I kind of feel the same way about his jumper and everything with his mid-range game.
Nobody had a better mid-range game than Michael Jordan. The only guy I've seen that has a mid-range game that's comparable to Jordan is this guy. This guy could take over a game. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, I really paid attention to him on Friday night. This guy is unbelievable.
The MVP of the league, Bubba discovered with 2 games left in the year.
But hold on, Seth. He's young, too, isn't he?
He's like 25, 26.
Where do you play ball at?
Kentucky.
Did he play at Kentucky?
Yeah.
Did he win a national championship?
I don't think so. Kentucky hasn't won one in a while.
I don't think he did. So anyway, Game 5 tonight in Oklahoma City. I would say that Oklahoma is going to go up 3-2. Goes back to Indiana. Indiana might pull one out of their ass at Cambridge. Then it's it's exactly what the television wants. It kicks back to Oklahoma City for Game 7.
No one's watching the series though.
Really? Is the ratings all-time lowest?
Horrible, yeah.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody knew it, but yeah, it's been confirmed.
Well, it's 2 teams with smaller markets, and I mean, it seems like it's obvious it's going to go to Game 7, just like they wanted to.
Talk about a big
makes everyone suspect.
Talk about a big nothing burger over the weekend. Now, we do have some stuff that went down. The Minnesota shooter, the no king, the no king stuff.
Bubba, you did ask Dan how his weekend was, and then he was going to answer, and then you started talking about your weekend, and then we got into the Pacers. So
Sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry, Dan.
It's all right.
No,
I apprehended the Minnesota assassin. You didn't get to hear about it, so F off.
No, I
did
know that Dan, I did text. Dan and I texted this weekend. I had a tough day yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I texted Happy Father's Day to my father. And then, of course, I'm a dad, but I have zero conversation.
You didn't get that text you were hoping
I didn't get that text I was hoping for. So, Dan, I know you spent the weekend with the kids, and because it's Father's Day, how'd it go for you?
That was great. I mean, Danny and I watched the baseball game Friday night, and then watched the end of the Pacers game, and then Saturday I went on like really long, like an hour and a half long jet ski ride with Danny. We went all the way to those houses on Gibsonton that face the water.
Does he ride his own or ride with you?
He rode with me. We have one, and so we just went together. It was a little choppy.
Well, no, actually, you have two.
Jay's got one. Yeah.
You go over to Davis Island. Jay's, by the way, Jay's out of the country. He's never going to know about it.
I bet his doesn't run.
Wait, did Jay leave his family for Father's Day?
Yeah, of course he did.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's Jay's father. Hold on. That's Jay's Father's Day to himself.
Right.
Which, you know what? He might have it figured out. He really does. I mean, like, because I told Merch Crick what I wanted for Father's Day was to be left alone. So she left me alone. She went and saw her dad, and I had 5 hours. I watched some World War II stuff on the American channel that I like.
Nice.
And watched the Rays. My God, the Rays swept the Mets.
I watched all the games.
God, I pretty much watched all the games as well. Watched a little bit of that, and then let me see what else. So that's about all I watched. I flipped between World War II. The Rays, and I watched a little bit of that Indy Racing League in St. Louis. Watched a little bit of that, and then I think
did you watch the F1 race?
Was that live?
It was like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it's in Canada.
Oh, the F1 that I got was the Vegas race, and I'm like, Vegas
race.
Yeah.
Is it replay?
I don't know.
It was in Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get a chance to see it.
It was exciting because there's a huge wreck at the very end, but not a huge wreck, but a significant.
I watched Sunday. I think was it Sunday or Saturday that I think it was Saturday. Caitlin Clark. Man, did anybody watch that?
I did.
The New York Liberty were undefeated. They're the defending champions of the WNBA, and Caitlin Clark. Was this her first game back?
Yes.
She's injured.
Yeah, she had a slightly torn or irritated quad. And she came back, I think was it 32? 32, 34?
Yeah, 32 maybe. She had 25 in the first half.
She almost got,
Jesus.
I think she had 32, 25 in the first half, 9 assists, I think maybe 9 rebounds. She almost hit a triple-double. But in the Liberty, the New York Liberty are the defending WNBA champions and were undefeated, right?
Yeah, they were 9-0.
And and she,
What's her record now?
They're 5-5.
They're 5-5,
Really?
but they're going to be okay.
Well, she was hurt for what, 3 games?
3 or 4. Lummy, what did you do for this Father's Day?
I never really got to finish.
All right, Dan, go ahead. So sorry, scattered. Got a lot going on.
He was jet skiing.
So you went clear over to you and Danny took like that. That's a pretty treacherous ride.
It was rough too.
Because it's choppy.
Yeah, it was really choppy. And there's a strip of 30 houses that face the sunset off of Gibsonton on the open water that I never knew existed.
Now, is that considered Apollo Beach?
I looked it up on my maps. It's part of Gibsonton, but I don't know. I think it's north of Apollo Beach. But it was a really pretty area. It was amazing homes. And then yesterday went to a nice lunch with my kids. They got me a nice little gift bag.
Seafood tower?
No, we didn't do that. But we went to Little Bay. But then we played catch with the 3 of them. It was the 3 of us.
Now, can Sophia catch?
Yeah. She's not as good as Danny. Danny can zip the ball now.
I know, but you don't want him to zip it too hard. You need to be throwing.
I throw to Sophia,
yes,
right.
I was getting ready to see it needs to go. It needs to go Dad. It needs to go Danny to Sophia, and then probably Sophia either back to you and then back to Danny, like you're the pivot guy.
Oh, I never thought about that one.
That would probably be the better way. That way you can control what Danny gets and you can control what she gets.
Yeah, Danny was pretty good about not throwing it at her head, but
Well, at the end of the day, though, it's your older sister, and you just remember how many times that she used to beat your ass. Now that those days are over now because Danny's getting bigger. But there probably were a lot of years where Sophia could just light his ass up because she was much bigger than him. So he remembers those days.
They get along well, though. They're cute together.
They are.
Yeah, they miss. If they're not together, they miss each other. All
right, cool.
It was sweet.
But
so it was a nice day. We went, did a little fish shopping, and
fish
for like a fish tank.
Oh, for the fish tank.
Yeah, we got this bully.
Oh, you guys went and got like an aggressive fish?
No, we had it. We had an aggressive fish, and we went to the place to get more fish because the aggressive fish keeps eating and killing all the other fish.
And you got another aggressive one.
So no, he gave us a couple like blue freshwater lobsters. You ever see those?
No.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Crawfish.
They really look like crawfish. I think they're really crawfish. And a couple snails, and then we're gonna bring the big fish back. He's gonna take him back and then trade it for smaller fish because he doesn't want us to just flush it.
So hold on.
They're expensive too.
Oh, they're like
$60.
I was gonna say, yeah. When I had a full blown fish tank, they were like, some fish would be like $100.
Oh, some are even more than that. Yeah, I mean but these are like nice freshwater fish.
The real exotic ones.
Yeah.
So, Lummy, what did you do for Father's Day?
I just traveled around.
Did you ask your family to leave you alone, like me?
Yeah, I wanted to on Sunday, but Friday saw my parents. My dad just is in his own world. Saturday saw Ashley's. Then went to Big Reds.
Are you
What does that mean? His own
Are you
world?
starting to notice that you're maybe when you say my dad's in his own world? Does that mean maybe age is kind of setting in and he just doesn't want to deal with it?
Yes, yeah, he doesn't like really leaving the house anymore. Doesn't believe in the AC either in a hot
What do you
summer.
mean?
Oh, come on.
Now hold on. We live in Florida.
Yeah, I know. Well,
How do
he
you
doesn't
not
understand
believe in AC?
I have no idea, but he loves sitting downstairs where there's no AC, watching the basketball game and baseball game. And,
So where
not
it's like
coming upstairs.
85 out, where his like literally he's an 85-degree temperature.
If it's 85, maybe 90. It's horrible. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And he just sits down there and watches TV.
And yeah, and
Barks out orders.
And claims that there's no mosquitoes down there.
Oh.
It's absolutely atrocious. But I did that, and then we went to Big Reds on Saturday after seeing her family, and Mitch put on that 24-hour race. Which boring, man. De Mans, what is it called?
Le Mans.
Le
Mans, yeah.
Le Mans was on this weekend?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah, and then
I didn't realize
Sunday
that
either.
I watched the baseball games all 3 times. Nice sweep over the Mets.
Right. So it's not like we all had some downtime. Seth, what did you do for fun? I mean, we're all fathers. Every one of us a father.
I went to Topgolf yesterday.
Oh, you did with your family or your boys? Because you got a posse. You got a Topgolf posse that you hang.
I have friends that I do various
No, but I mean,
sporty
I
activities
think
with.
you would admit I've overheard you talking to various people, and you got this particular Topgolf posse that you go to, all your Topgolf.
The Topgolf posse also goes go-karting, basketball, axe throwing.
Have you done any of those things?
Yeah, no, he
does them
You've
all.
axe thrown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really? Go-kart?
Yeah,
Really?
go-karts last week, yeah.
Well, you didn't talk about it.
He's got this. Hold on. He's got this.
Nobody asked me.
He's got this.
There's been some exciting stuff, though. That's
He's
fun
got-
stuff to talk about.
he's
We just
got
think you
this-
sit around all day and just stare at your daughter.
He's got this activities posse. This group of men that all go out and they do various things, and axe throwing, go-karting.
This group of men.
Top
All
golfing.
naked.
It seems like your guys' go-to activity is top golfing, though. That seems to be the one you do the most.
We've been a
of.
couple times. It's we know some of the guys at Topgolf now because we're always opening up cards there, and so there's a couple card guys there. So it's hard for us to go places now without.
Where is Top Golf in Pinellas? It's in the
Carillon.
Carillon.
Oh, is that the one you go to? You don't go to the one like off of a Brandon?
Oh no, yeah, no, the one right in St. Pete.
The one in
didn't know.
Brandon's the original OG, and listen. They have territorially. If you live in Pinellas, you go to the one in Carillon. If you live in Hillsborough, you go to the one in Brandon.
Lummy, how do you feel about top golfers as a golfer?
Yeah, no, Topgolf's cool, but good luck trying to get a spot.
Not
Seth's
only that,
smart
not
with
only
getting the St.
that,
Pete one.
but it's expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Isn't it pretty? Isn't Top Golf pretty damn expensive?
I think maybe like $40 an hour.
But that's for the whole thing, right? And then you split it between the guys.
Yeah.
For like the compartment. Yeah. Well, that's way cheaper than a golf course.
I will tell you this though, they got some pretty damn good food. They really do.
Yes.
They got good food. Now their drinks are a little pricey, so if you're gonna go there and try to get drunk, you're gonna be spending a lot. But if you're there sipping waters and Coca-Colas and or Diet Cokes, and they have great food. They really do. And I guess a team of like 5 or 6 dudes like yourself, you only need just one slot, right?
Yeah.
And it's comfortable. And then the inside part, although nobody really goes inside, they got like shuffleboard and they got all kinds of games in there too.
Do you guys like compete when you play, Seth?
No. I'm horrible. I just started being able to actually make contact with the ball. That's why I find it fun now.
We need to tape it. Maybe bring Gary down, fly Gary down, and we all go do a Top Golf.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
All of us, me, Seth, Dan, you, Mach. I don't know if Macho.
Do you bring your own club, Seth?
I don't have any.
No. Nobody's bringing their own clubs. You just use the driver provided or the 3.
No, they have this club, Dan, called like
the Big Bertha.
Yeah, it's called like the Can't Miss, and I didn't know about it. And it basically enables you to make contact and rip the ball every single time.
Yeah.
So now I can before I was swinging it like a baseball bat. Now I can hit the ball to the net all the way out.
With the Can't Miss?
With the Can't Miss, yeah.
Hold on, you can go clear net?
I mean, I tear my oblique trying to do it, but it's awesome.
Nice.
It's a good workout.
Nice. Lummy, we've got to do that.
Yes, we do.
We really do. There's so many things to talk about. So, Dan, that closes out your Father's Day. Mm-hmm. Seth, I think that closes out your Father's Day.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that Father's Day should just get rid of it altogether.
Yeah, they really?
Yeah.
One day the guy gets a little pat on the back.
Nobody wants to do it, Dan.
Hold
Everybody
on.
feels pressure. Then people are on Facebook saying Happy Heavenly Father Day. I don't want people to feel like they have to.
I saw something on the internet this weekend that said that Father's Day is the 20th most popular holiday there is. Number 1 is Christmas, and number 2 is Mother's Day.
So I'm saying dads get hosed.
And so number 1 is Christmas. As far as importance to people, number 1 is Christmas. Number 2 is Mother's Day.
What?
Yeah. Let me see if you can find the list.
What about Easter?
Well, I know. I'm sure Easter's like 3, 4. I'm sure Easter's top 5.
Dude, some mothers must have put together this list.
And I'm sure July 4th is in there. So, but that's how much people don't like.
Jewish moms that don't even believe in Easter.
That's how much. Like nobody cares. Fathers, we get completely screwed. We're supposed to be, providers for our family. We're supposed to be, so many different things. And they don't care about us.
No,
they
not
don't
at
care.
all.
They don't care about not just your family. Society. Society does not care about you as a father. Fathers suck.
Is Father's Day behind Juneteenth, Lummy?
Probably.
I'm trying to find.
Lummy's trying to find the list.
I think Juneteenth is this week.
I think Juneteenth.
It's the 19th, right?
It's the 19th. Yeah, Juneteenth. Let me see if you can find the list or the ranking of U.S. or the. Is Father's Day a universal thing, or is it only an American thing?
I think it's American.
Yeah, I don't think over
I don't
in
think they're celebrating
Cambodia.
Father's Day in Turkey. Yeah,
I don't think in Cambodia, or Niger, that they're really caring about Father's Day.
We really, I mean, if we're cutting the fat in the the budget and the government, we should really cut the fat on these made up holidays and get rid of about 10 to 15.
We really should.
So what would be the ones in the chopping block there, Sethy?
Father's Day is one of them. Valentine's Day could be one. Yeah,
Dude, never.
Well, you
can't get rid of Valentine's Day.
You know why? Because it's the special interest has made so the flower industry, the card industry,
candy.
Well, hold on, the restaurant industry. What do you do for Valentine? A lot of times you go out to dinner, stuff like that. The candy industry.
Were these all things that were made up to stimulate the economy?
Yep, in some instances.
Well, Coca-Cola made up Christmas.
Oh, they did?
The Santa Claus part and all the whole red and white thing. It's all Coca-Cola colors. They made that whole thing up.
Speaking of Coca-Cola, I saw something about Coca-Cola this weekend. I forget what channel. It might have been the History Channel. It was the food that made America. And it was how, did you guys know that Pepsi was invented because the Coca-Cola had a number one dealer like in New York or something like that, and he was in charge of he was responsible for like 1 or 2% of all Coca-Cola sales, and back then the Coca-Cola would send you the syrup, and then you had these soda restaurants, and they called them, the guys that did it they were called jerkers, and they were called soda jerkers, and they would mix the caramel with like carbonated fizzy water, and then that would be your Coca-Cola. That's before Coca-Cola started bottling. Well, the guy, I think his name was Lot. He was the number one or two dealer of Coca-Cola, and he called the main dude from Coca-Cola and wanted a little bit of a discount because he did such high volume. And Coca-Cola told him to pack sand, so he invented Pepsi.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to piss off Coke?
Yeah, just to piss off Coke.
Wow.
Yeah. Lummy, you never found the holidays?
I didn't find where Mother's Day is number 2. That's what I was looking for. I only found where it was like number 15, but I didn't think you wanted to see that one, so I'm trying to find where it's number 2.
No, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So there are so many things I saw over the weekend. This is one thing that I saw. And this, talk about a big, for lack of a better term, nothing burger. So there's this JetBlue plane that flies into Boston, the Boston Logan Airport, and it for whatever reason skids, and it hits the grass.
That's because all those fat people flying it can't stop. It's too much weight.
All right, Dan.
Okay.
That's not what it's from.
That's not.
No. And so here's the deal. They really hard sold it like it was, really deathly close to, going off the complete runway and maybe into traffic or into the water or something like that. There was like 1,000 feet of runway left. He missed his turn off. You know how when you're going a jet and they stop it and then, Dan, they have to turn one way or the other to get to the terminal.
But he's like on cement still, right? He didn't get on the grass and the dirt.
He's
just like on like a turn runoff, like on a racetrack.
So he made the corner a little too hot and went into the grass. Like it was not a thing at all. Hold on here. I'm trying to see if they show. Yeah, they show it here. I'm trying to see if they show. Yeah, see,
Oh, the nose is on the ground.
Yeah, the nose is. I mean, because once he got into the grass,
Broke the gear.
Probably broke the gear, but it wasn't like a big deal at all.
I mean, is that enough for us to get some pain and suffering if we're on it?
Maybe a free flight.
That's
I don't know. Yeah.
Forget it.
I mean, maybe first class upgrade.
I like how they're recording it from across the water, though, so it looks like it's a skater.
There's like
that was like just sort of like average, just airplane footage.
a JetBlue flight skidded off the runway.
Oh, that picture may help.
Right here. Again,
there it is. Okay.
Again, you can see that it's not anywhere close to the end of the runway or any water. There was a retention pond, I guess, in the middle. I guess Boston Logan Airport has a retention pond for irrigation or whatever.
So the front landing gear, Bubba, did not break. It's still there. It just was lower.
Yeah.
It's just because it's like you said, it's like in a retention pond. It's just in a dip.
Well, because they water that area so the grass stays green. So that area probably is a little water soaked, if you will. And if you get, that much weight, nobody was hurt in the accident, and all passengers were taken to a nearby terminal. All crew and customers are safe. A total ground stop of all flights were in place at the airport until 2 o'clock Thursday. The accident comes a day after a heightened air travel fears after a passenger plane crashed in India. Remember that? Oh, I did.
That was a real crash. That plane was taking off and just dropped out of the sky.
And I saw a pilot who flies those planes explain what happened, and it makes all the sense in the world.
Please tell.
Here's what happened. So if you're the captain, you rotate the plane, and then you tell your co-captain, landing gear and flaps up. Okay? So, when you're going to take off, you have your flaps all the way down. That creates the most lift. But once you rotate and get those wheels off the ground, it's called cleaning it up. you clean up the airplane as fast as you can, and that is to suck your gear in, because that causes so much drag, and your flaps are all the way down at 15 or 30 degrees, so you got to clean those up. You got to get those flaps so that they're parallel now, so that that wing works as a wing. Whereas a flap is, when you have your flaps down, it creates lift, but it also creates an unbelievable amount of drag, and so does the landing gear. The pilot that I watched on whatever channel said that the co-captain made a mistake and put the landing, like missed it, didn't put the landing gear up, might have put the flaps up a little bit, but left the landing gear down, and that caused so much drag that the plane could not accelerate. You know, if you had one of the two cleaned up, like if you cleaned up your landing gear, having your flaps down wouldn't be the death sentence of that plane, because it could probably power through if the landing gear was all the way up. But to have them both the flaps and the landing gear down, it just he said there's no way the plane can create lift, and so that's why it went ass down like that. So again, this isn't a big deal. This isn't like look. It's not the end of the runway. It's nothing. This guy just missed his turnoff. Not a big deal at all. But we're so is this Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie.
Oh, hey Charlie, I just want to say hi. Happy Monday to you. See you later.
Chomo Chester, or whatever his name is.
What's that?
Chomo Chester. Or
oh,
whatever
yeah, that's right. Chomo Charlie. Damn it.
Have you talked to him off the air, Lummy? Is he seething at him not getting on anymore?
Chomo Charlie.
There's no point to even try to.
Is that Charlie right there?
Yeah, that is. He's calling right back.
All right, hold on. Let me just make sure I tell you. Just want to let you know your new name's Chomo Charlie. Chomo Charlie. Say it. Chomo Charlie. Perfect. See you later, Charlie. Bye.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Try. Pick up for like a half a second. Good luck training and talk.
Oh, I'd love to hear him just ramble.
Good.
I'd like to hear it, because all he can do with Bubba is, I got a question, Asher. I got a question.
Social media, user. Dan, Sprinkle Can, 666. Good morning. Yeah, 17. Snook Slayer, TNT. Fan in Orlando. Chris. Shove it up. Oh God.
St. Pete's taking fluoride out of water.
They've only had fluoride in the water for like 5 years. They didn't have them when we were kids.
St. Pete?
Yeah. It's relatively new. Low bug. Leverage grubber. Chukula. There you go. Low overs afterwards. Each now, that's good.
You got some cologne over there or something?
Yeah, I sprayed a little bit of fucking volume 25.
Oh God.
It'll quickly dissipate.
No, you're fine. I just
Yeah, no problem. Sorry. Sorry.
Never married. Yes, this is live. Alright. Some mentions of Travis. Neil Month this year. Fuck you. God, I love your name. Forgetting Gene. Supermark. Big Buck.
Congratulations, Gary Cantrell. I think you're going to hit a bony on
Andy. Dirt Merchant. Jerkism. I know. They suck this whole turbo era bullshit. It's frustrating to watch Ferrari Formula 1 right Red Bull and 80% Mercedes. Thank you.
What's up, YouTube? How are you, Grouper Lips? I just saw you over there. Hit the like. Oh, we're doing good on the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Hi, Gary Cantrell. I think you're gonna hit a Facebook bony. Congratulations on the Facebook bony.
Manster 1. Right Farm, Jones Island,
Travis. Dirt Merchant. Great Farm, Jones Island. Neil Mount
How about that guy that sat on that fucking chair? That Swirsky, that's...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know. Can you believe it?
What a dumb fuck. I don't even know if you could pay for it. I don't even know what you do. But then again, I don't know, man. If it's that expensive pieces of art, I might start putting it behind glass.
What was that exactly? What country?
In the chair?
Yeah.
It was like a piece of art, and he went to sit on it and to have his wife take a picture, and it broke.
Yeah, I know, but what country was that?
Italy. I think Italy.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
BubbaArmyPics@gmail.com. Please send your selfies modeling your Bubba Army swag. Creative Services has a few instructions when doing so. Please do not just screenshot your pic and then just send it, wasting valuable screen space. Please crop your pics and frame them correctly. We have faith in you, Bubba Army. Also, you must have Bubba Army swag or someone from the show in the picture. This is not your photo wall, it's the Bubba Army photo wall. Get with the program. If you can follow those simple instructions, we will see you on the wall. Again, send your pics to BubbaArmyPics@gmail.com. Now back to the show.
Macho Man will be updating pics this week. So get your picks in, BubbaArmyPics@gmail.com. Joe Exotica today at 9 o'clock. Today's after show at 11 o'clock will be Randy Couture, Hall of Famer, UFC. And going to be, looks like an NHRA Pro Mod drag racer driving the Skag Pro Mod machine. We'll get into that, I'm sure. Hi, who's this?
Howdy. This is Marvin, Texas.
Hi, Marvin.
I had a question for Dr. Diaco.
All right, go ahead, Marvin from Texas. Dr. Dan Diaco.
Is my mic coming through okay?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Okay?
It's coming through great, bud.
Okay, so Dr. Diaco, basically, my homegirl went to right before the pandemic, she went across seas and got a parasite. And she had been struggling with it for years and years, really it was ravaging her system. And she got COVID, and somebody smuggled her some ivermectin when it was basically illegal, and it knocked out the parasite and her COVID. And so so do you think that people should be taking a regimen of ivermectin maybe? like yearly, like the parasite cleanse? I mean, what do you think?
There's not science to support this that I have read, but based on everything that I have read and the fact that it is so good about killing things like parasites, that I don't think it
hurt you.
It won't hurt you. And I don't think it's a bad idea to take ivermectin.
Why they shut it down?
Well, there's a couple reasons. I'll get that in 2 seconds.
Big pharma.
Yeah. I have taken a course of ivermectin at least once a year now since COVID, and it seems to sort of clear out everything. And people even that have acne get reported the improvement in the acne from ivermectin. So, and it has some anti-tumor qualities to it. So I certainly don't think it's a bad idea once or twice a year to take a 5-day course of ivermectin at 0.4 milligrams per kilogram per day.
And am I supposed to be really pissed off that they try to shut that down?
No.
Well, you can be really pissed off about a couple things.
I'm not trying to be all conspiratorial.
It is disgusting what they did about it. The counter narrative.
They villainized it so bad.
They vilified it so badly that people died because they wouldn't give them access to it. People died because they forced their treatment.
People are sitting over here with tapeworms that they don't know what to do, and really that was the drug that's being shut down. I guess I don't know, man.
It won a Nobel Prize for being one of the most important medications ever invented, and yet it was vilified by the media during the whole COVID thing.
Dude.
So it's
unreal.
It is unreal. It's disgusting, and it makes me really doubt the whole institution of medicine in America, because it's obviously so influenced by big pharma. Just like Bubba said, big farm.
All right, buddy, good talking to you. Seems like you're one of those short spacers that want to just interrupt everybody, so I got to let you go. Thanks. Hello.
Good morning. How you doing?
813-90 Bubba are the phone lines. As long as you're not Chomo Charlie, we'll probably let you through. Go ahead.
How you doing today?
Good, bud. You're on the air.
Good. Got it. Do you all take suggestions for different shows and stuff? Y'all got a wonderful format and platform. I love what you're doing.
Well, yeah, of course we're open for suggestions all the time, my friend. Yes.
There's a big group out called the National Environmental Action Network, NEAN. They have come together and they have been helping the laid-off federal employees and contractors, and they've been putting money into programs that Trump and his administration have been trying to cut. I really think y'all need to get those people on your show and talk to them.
They're called what? They're called what now? Who? I never heard of these.
National Environmental Action Network.
National Environmental
Action
Network.
N-E-A-N.
And they're what? They're contractors and people that have been displaced by Trump's budget cuts?
Well, no, they're helping those people find jobs as consultants. They're helping them get back into the business, and they're helping them do, just find other ways to make money outside of working for the federal government. They're doing grants. When Trump cut those grants, he only stopped the federal government grants. He can't touch the private sector. He can't touch if you get grant money from another country, for your business or whatever. That's between you and that country and that government and their rules. He can't touch that. You can still get the money, but he can't touch that because that's not part of the federal government.
Yeah, well, tell those guys to get a hold of us. Call us here, and or you put it all together. We'll maybe we'll throw them on the air.
Well, if you throw me an email, I'll get them the email. And the young lady would love to talk to you all. She listens to y'all every chance she gets.
Show at thebubbaarmyhq.com. Show, SHOW, at the Bubba Army. Or let me, is it just
it's Bubba Army HQ.
Instead of the.
Yeah,
so
correct,
it's show at bubbaarmyhq.com.
Gotcha.
And tell her to throw us an email, and we'll.
So what does that actual network do with their money? They just give it to. What do they do with the money?
They help other people get money. What they do is they write up proposals and grants in different companies and different nonprofits to fund those people up, and different billionaires are funding, because they have 3 billionaires that I know of right now in South America that are funding a water quality project for the state of Louisiana to help them out and deal with those fires.
They might be able to help us.
Now, when NEAN does one of these contracts, do they get like a commission out of it or a fee?
I don't think so, because if
they just do it for free.
And they kind of sort of get up there and help y'all out.
Well, listen,
they don't take a percent.
Dan, instead of combat this guy, let's get Neem or Meme on the air and see what they have to say, and we can ask about their fees at that point. So forward our email to that fine lady, and we'll see if we can do some business, okay?
That'll work. Thank you so much.
All right, man, I appreciate you. Dan, this guy didn't know.
I'm just curious.
Hello.
Oh, Chester, the Chester.
Oh, Chomo Charlie, gotta go. See you later. Getting busy. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Bubba.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I really am. I got a big day. I got a long day today, but I'm excited.
That's good. Hey, just wanted to say good show. As always, last week was a great week. And again, just wanted to thank Dr. Dan for his amazing work.
Did Dr. Dan's magical hands touch you in some way, shape, or form?
They absolutely did, in the form of two beautiful, robust, supple breasts.
Oh, so you're saying that your significant other went and saw Dan and got a breast augmentation and is now part of the Diacos. I have a nice set of Diacos family, and you're very satisfied with his work.
Yeah, somebody else's Diacos, but yes, I get to enjoy them, which kind of amps it all up to another level.
Now, hold on. Somebody else's. I'm not quite understand.
I mean, somebody else paid for him, and he's reaping the benefits now.
Oh. So, thank you, Seth.
No problem.
Thank you very much for being able to understand that more so than me. Thank you.
I understand the common man, Bubba.
Thank you, Sam. So you're saying that you're now dating a woman who, prior to dating you, was with another man who bought the set of Diacos, and he's no longer in the picture, and you've slid up in there, and now you're enjoying Dan's work, and he's not.
Correct. I almost need protection for this one, Bubba, but it's, yeah.
Nah, you just sound like the average guy from Carrollwood, so you're okay, buddy. No big deal. Nobody knows nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Dr. Dan. Just an amazing job he does. I just wanted to just say thank you again.
Now, so let me ask you a question. How long have you been with this woman that has a set of Diacos?
This woman is married, Bubba.
Oh, I'm not going to keep talking about it.
Oh, okay, I understand. So this is not a clean break like I thought it was. This is kind of still of a shady deal going on. She's still married to the guy that purchased, but you're kind of slipping in the backside.
Yeah, I think there's an understanding between both of the other parties that that's an acceptable situation.
Oh, so the husband said, if you want to slip out and go see, whatever your name is, Fred, go ahead. Now, is it because they're not getting along, or is it just that's just what he's into?
I think that's just how they roll, Bubba.
Now, is he allowed to go roll up and, score some, another set of Diacos from another woman? Is he allowed to?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's great. Sounds like everybody wins there.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
does him and her still blast, or is she blasting you exclusively?
Bubba, I don't know the ins and outs of that part of it. I'm assuming they probably still do. I just haven't really dived into.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you know what? That you're right. You're completely right on that. Why convolute the whole deal? You're getting yours, and that's all that counts. So whatever she does with him is really none of your business. As long as your access to those Diacos don't dry up, who cares, right?
Correct. 100% correct.
Yeah. What a great parameter, my friend. How'd you set that all up? Were you guys coworkers, friends?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bubba.
No, you go. You go. I said what I was going to say.
Just friends, Bubba. Just met them through a previous friend and just kind of got friendly with both of them. And it's kind of a weird dynamic. We all go out, right? Like as a group for holidays.
Now, do you have a wife that you're bringing too?
No, sir, I do not. I'm 100% single, Bubba.
So you're just a dude that rolls up with a man and a wife, and you don't have to bring anything to the table. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, Bubba.
Well, good, and I'm glad, and you firsthand can be definitely a testament to how good Dan's breast augmentation work really is. It's just it's unbelievable, is it not?
It's an amazing thing, Bubba. I'd probably terrestrial radio, so I can't get too crazy. But yeah, if you can just imagine if you're standing up and you just happen to look down, right? And you can just see the awesomeness of what's going on there when you're looking down.
The pure volume of cleavage and just the pure volume of sexiness is second to none, my friend.
Second to none.
Right.
I just wanted to again say thank you to Dr. Dan and keep up the good show, Bubba, and wish you guys all the best.
Thank you, my
Thank
friend.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
The big story, Lummy, I'm sure that's Chomo Charlie on one.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Chomo, just in Chomo, how frustrating is it for that phone just to ring and ring and ring and to know, one, that it may not get answered, and two, if it does get answered, it's just going to be Chomo Charlie, and then you hang up. So you can't even be ready to say anything because you never know when I'm going to pick it up.
That's true.
And so
he is getting talked about more on the show though, since we haven't taken his calls.
Yeah, but you're getting called Chomo Charlie.
I know, it's just
that's not good, Seth.
I just wanted to feel pain every which way.
Hey, when you're called a child molester, that's not.
I don't even think that faces him, Sponjo.
I disagree. I wouldn't want to be called Chomo Clem. And then be sitting there on hold, not being able to defend myself that I'm not a chomo, and they're just talking about me as in a full chomo type fashion, and I'll never ever just know this, Chomo Charlie, you'll never get on the air ever again. I mean, you may get like, hey Charlie, like just like a millisecond on, but you'll never really get on the air. God, that's got to be frustrating. Speaking of which, was it late last night that they caught the Minnesota psycho dude that had killed?
Yeah.
Now, he had been at large since what, late Friday night?
They said like 43 hours, I think it was.
Right. And it's my understanding that he killed the people, the second people. The first people are the ones that he didn't kill, and the second set of people are the ones that he did kill. Now, does the news lay it out does the news lay it out like that? And through good cop work, when the cops got to the second house, they knew that potentially there was another lawmaker that lived, really, really close to where they encountered this guy, and then they went to that person's house, not having a 911 call, not just out of a hunch that this guy might be, targeting politicians, and I think that's where they found the dead people. And this guy, I don't know if he was Republican, he was Democrat, but man, what is happening to our country? Not only to the world, and what Israel and Iran, what Iran is trying to do to Israel. Not only that, but what's happening to our country. Like, it is just absolutely a crap show. If it's not the stuff that's happening in LA, then it's this guy. This guy who rolls up to Minnesota lawmakers and guns them down based on. They said what he didn't like the guy, and did they catch him alive or did they kill him?
They caught him alive.
Alive, yeah.
Oh, so he'll go through the trial process, and we'll get to maybe some answers to this. But didn't he? His original what he was pissed off about was the way that the woman that he killed voted on a particular bill.
Yes. He said she flip-flopped.
She flip-flopped on a bill that was a federal bill or just a Minnesota bill?
I think it was just a Minnesota bill.
Just a Minnesota bill.
I think so.
We'll get into that next. I want to be on time today, so I can get Joe Exotic. I have to be right at 9 o'clock. And I get, 15 minutes with him?
Yes.
So Joe Exotica today at 9. Randy Couture, UFC Hall of Famer, at 11.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Thank you, Paper Towel Willie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Donations have been super slow, and that 500, fuck. That's nice. Thank you.
PTW. That's Paper Towel Willie.
PTW
sounds pretty good.
Hey, Bubba.
What, buddy?
Can you give a second just to come in for a minute, just for one of the phone calls? I don't want you to go side.
You made a what?
I don't want you to be like target.
Top cotton, wood, girl sponge.
So is not coming in today?
Sure, Steve's coming.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Blue tent me! Blue tent me!
What happened? I
faked at the door.
I saw your elbow. I saw your elbow.
Hey, Lummy.
Yeah, okay?
Hey, how come you didn't tell Bubba about my strongman feat on Friday? With the monsters? Remember?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, your 2 cases.
Same time.
Curls.
Same time.
Same time.
Same time.
Is that the one at 3? We only had 2.
Then he took upstairs?
No, I brought him into the kitchen. Oh. But Lummy was relegated to a beta door holder.
Listen, I have been the first to proclaim your extra
No, I know.
Take your shirt off and give us the pose.
But Lummy was intimidated because he didn't tell you that I'm able to lift things around here.
Yes.
Because that obviously.
It's gonna take away my lifting.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have an option in my lifting.
There's another strongman around town.
You weren't even in the roster. Now you're on the roster.
Yeah.
Of strongmen.
Mm-hmm. Now, once I learn how to put together things, it's over.
Lummy, you might lose your job.
Yeah, let's not have Seth learn.
I mean, Seth's now in the lifting roster, and once he learns to be mechanically inclined, you're fucked.
I've studied Lummy.
We're gonna have to take away those that socket set I'm giving you.
Socket set?
$20. Seth Money is the man. Mickey Boogie.
Oh man.
Lummy, you didn't send me too much with regards to the No Kings protest.
Well, that one story, I think there was one for like 6 minutes. They kind of covered it, but I mean, if you want me, I can send you like a couple of bigger cities.
What's that?
You want me to send you like some of the bigger city ones?
Yeah, if you can.
Okay.
Just put them on my IM.
You want me to see if Warsaw has any video from theirs?
No, please stop. Warsaw, no, please. Just here we go. Lummy's turned into quite the jokester, is he not? asking me if I wanted Warsaw, Indiana's No King protest footage.
They did have one.
Did they really?
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
How do you know that Warsaw, Indiana had a No Kings protest?
Colton and I went over the map, and I went up to Indiana and looked, and I saw Warsaw had one.
Yeah,
they had it at the one of the local parks, I think, or the city hall.
I should ask Larry if there's any problems. I really didn't see any. I think the No Kings protest is exactly how protests are supposed. I think everybody was behaved. I don't know that there was a lot of violence or burned down cars or.
One guy got shot and killed in Utah.
Okay. That's pretty good considering how many hundreds of No King protests there were, right?
I think there was was it 500 planned? I mean, it was a massive number.
Yeah, I mean there were a lot, a lot planned, and only one dead. That's how you protest, my friend. Here's the thing, though. I didn't know. It was organized by this. Was it Christy Walton? Christine or Christy Walton?
Yes.
I didn't even know. She's not even really a Walton.
No.
She married one of Sam Walton, by the way, Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. She married one of his sons. And one of his sons was her husband. So she's not even really a Walton. And then he died, and Macho, you might want to hear this. He died on in an ultralight wreck. Those ultralight, those ultralight.
Like he flew, like Mach flew.
Like Mach and Mach's father flew.
Oh, no.
And he died in an ultralight accident, and all of his money went to her.
That's how it goes.
And she's, going crazy. So I guess Walmart's trying to distance itself from this No Kings rally because they feel that their Walmart base, is probably more Donald Trump than I don't know. I think Walmart's pretty much even, don't you think? Or do you think that it might be a little more? You think Walmart might be a little more red than blue? Is with regards to their? I think they're right down the middle. I think everybody goes to Walmart.
Yeah, I think it depends on what city you're in, but I think they're down the middle.
They don't want to alienate half the country.
Yeah, but you're right. Like Dan, here's the deal: no matter what side of the fence you're on, you've alienated nearly 50% of potentially your audience. If you just keep your mouth shut and you don't really go one way or the other, then you got everybody, right?
Yes.
But, so here you are, Walmart. This isn't even a real Walton. This is a woman that married into the Walton family who's the real Walton died in an ultralight accident. And I forget how many. I think at one time she might have been the richest woman in the world.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Nice title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice title. Dan, would you?
Yeah.
Would you roll up and be a sugar daddy? I mean, baby. Would you be a sugar baby? Would you be a sugar baby?
How's she look?
Oh, horrible.
Yeah, she's
absolutely horrible. But you could be that sneaky guy sneaking in at 3:00. Well, and she's like, Danny, you're so hot. Even though I'm 75 and I'm an old bag, what kind of airplane would you like? I mean, Dan, you had to go and lay the coals to her like once a week. Like, every Wednesday was like your day to go lay the coals to her. But you got like a new, like what?
Gulfstream?
I'll
fly
Dan,
back.
Dan, here's the deal. What would be your ultimate car? What would be your ultimate car that if you could buy, if something, like your ultimate, I know you got a Lamborghini. I know you got I don't think you have a Ferrari in your, I think you got what? You got a Cybertruck.
Mm-hmm. Lamborghini. The Ferrari Testarossa.
Okay.
And the Ferrari race car.
Oh, okay. But take the race car. Street legal.
Okay, so I just have the Testarossa.
Testarossa and the Cybertruck.
And the Lambo Storado.
Okay, so if there's one car, because you had a sugar mama, And she said, "Listen, money's no. I mean, well, hold on. I'm gonna give you a $3 million budget, Danny.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Okay, what would it be? A McLaren? Would it be
That would either be a Bugatti, a Koenigsegg, or a Pagani. Probably a Pagani.
Is that what are those things going for?
Yeah, they're about $2.5, $3 million.
Here's the
ridiculous cars.
Manhunt in Minnesota happening right now.
By the way, they caught the guy. And I'm so glad they caught him and didn't. Well, I would have preferred they blew him away, but not in this instance. I want to know why he did it. I want to know what makes this guy tick. I want to know exactly what's wrong with our country.
Dude, me too, because these guys that give up their freedom to commit, a crime over political or religious reasons, and then they leave their family behind. It's just that just fascinates me.
It does too, and I really want to pay attention as to what set this guy off, especially if, like you said, Seth, if you're a sound mind and you know that you're done. You're going to be in prison for the rest of your life. You're not going to see your family again. You're done. Like what irritates and makes you that mad that you are willing to do such a heinous act, all in the name of politics? We all hate politics. I mean, politics by nature in today's environment is 50-50 at best. At best, 50-50. So
you really only have about 45% support.
So it's best to kind of just, unfortunately, keep your mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
It's best if you're in business, other than what we do, and that's to irritate people and to, gin up, if you will, people's opposition and opposing views. But for the most part, like Dan, you as a plastic surgeon, you just probably don't let your political affiliation go into the office or into your workplace, because it could affect business.
In fact, during the election, there were some political signs at the business that were taken down because it's not appropriate. It's
signs that you didn't put up, right?
No, some of the other tenants were doing signs.
Yeah,
and the landlord
aren't you the anchor tenant too?
Yeah,
you're the largest tenant in that building, so it could be like that could be blamed on you when when realistically it was some two room office upstairs from you that put it out.
In fact, I got a nasty email because someone saw it and thought it was me and sent a nasty email to me about it.
Yeah, and you're like, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm doing lip injections and boob jobs. I do have an opinion as to who I want to win president, but I'm certainly not going to throw it out there on a sign.
Right.
Come get some Botox, though.
Please.
A suspect on the run after what authorities call a politically motivated assassination.
This was
former Minnesota House.
This was horrible. Yeah. This was so horrible. This asshole dressed up like a cop, had an SUV that looked like a cop car, didn't have the red and blue light bar, but he had like a full-blown wrecker wheel and light package on his car, so you could be like, didn't he kill him like at 2:30 in the morning? So if somebody's just rapping on your door at 2:30 in the morning and they got this full-blown, like wheel and light package on their car, and it's illuminated, and he has full police gear on
and a mask because they knew him.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
And so you're going to probably open the door, right?
Yeah, he was appointed to a committee. He didn't work for Walsh, but he was appointed to a committee that they also were on.
Right.
So they work together in a committee. So it's almost like a workplace violence.
Like Seth said, she knew him. They knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a mask on. He's got a kind of a semi-emergency vehicle SUV that doesn't have cop lights, but it's got wrecker, warning lights on, going crazy, and he's rapping on the door as if there's like an emergency. So you might be thinking, well, maybe somebody that's like a wrecker company or something, and somebody ran into my lawn.
Yeah, if someone that even looked like Tico abruptly knocked on the door with a pickup truck with yellow flashing lights, I'd be like, yeah, what's the problem?
Right, and then they
lines down. Okay, come on in.
And then they gun you down.
Right.
He gunned them down right there.
Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark both gunned down early this morning inside their home.
And here's the bad thing, Lummy. I don't think, because they're so liberal, I don't think that I don't think Minnesota has the death penalty.
I'll check that out.
I don't think Minnesota has the death penalty. And this is the type of person that certainly needs to be killed.
No, they got rid of the death penalty.
They what?
They got rid of it.
Of course they did.
Just a few miles away, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were shot multiple times.
Now they're in a hospital. They didn't get killed.
Now I heard they got shot 8 and 9 times apiece.
Yeah, they did.
Or 7 and 8 or something.
It was
Oh
8,
my
9
God, how's
times.
that survivable?
At their home, now recovering in a local hospital. This video showing their front door riddled with bullet holes. Hundreds of police and sheriff's deputies on the scene searching for clues and a possible motive.
And then when the guy left, when the bad guy fled, when the cops got into a shootout with him, he wasn't he was on foot, which, made it one would think would make it easier to catch the guy because it was like in a real.
Can you show that door again with the bullet holes?
Yeah, I can. Let me see here.
Shot 2 victims.
Officers find
Identifying the showing park. Just a few miles away, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were shot multiple times at their home, now recovering in a local hospital.
Do you think that...
Look at those bullets. They're all 100% intact. They don't see any flaring. He shot solid rounds. That's why they didn't die with 8 and 7 shots.
Here's the deal, though.
They weren't hollow points. Dumbass.
Did the guy, the politician, open the door, just crack it, and then shut it real fast and locked it, and he laid lead on the door, and they were behind the door, or did he actually get in a little bit, Seth?
Well, if you show, I don't know if you have it, Bubba, the picture of him wearing the mask. I think as soon as they opened the door and saw what he was wearing, I would assume they probably closed it as quickly as they could.
And then he laid lead?
Their front door riddled with bullet holes. Hundreds of police and sheriff's deputies on the scene searching for clues and a possible motive. Investigators identifying the suspected gunman as 57-year-old Vance Luther Bolter. Several sources telling ABC News that the suspect had a list of possible targets.
Tim Walsh, by the way, was on his list. Is this guy a registered? As much as we probably don't want to say this is a political thing, this is very much a political thing, isn't it?
Without a question.
This is very much. And so what side of the political thing is it? Was he a Republican that was not happy with these Democratic, with the Democratic people that he targeted? Was he a Democrat that was not happy with the Democratic people that he targeted? What side of the fence was this whack job on?
Interestingly, they're not. I couldn't find his specific political party affiliation, but he was appointed by Walsh and his predecessor to this board twice. But it's kind of a bipartisan board. He was definitely conservative. He didn't like abortion, but I don't know if he was a Republican or a Democrat. I have no idea.
Including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Several planned protests.
Everybody that he wanted to kill was Democrat. So what throws people off, though, is that he was appointed to a particular board with with a lot of Democrats. So, and nobody's really reporting what he is registered as, or what what his voting history has been.
He said he voted for Trump, according to his roommate Bubba, but I think that he may be like a registered Democrat, which is why they're not saying anything. It doesn't fit their narrative.
It looks like a lot of the potential targets he had were all pro-choice activists.
So this had to do with abortion?
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Canceled today as thousands were.
So, I'm pro-abortion. Would he be mad at me?
Yeah. If you were a lawmaker and had any kind of political savvy.
I'm pro-abortion.
Told to shelter in place. ABC's Faith Abube leads us off from the scene in Minnesota.
Our favorite, Faith Abube.
Tonight, a manhunt in Minnesota for 57-year-old Vance Bolter, who authorities say assassinated a beloved Minnesota lawmaker and her husband.
Poor woman and poor dude. Man, just living their life.
Bob, I sent you a story on your IM of his roommate speaking about some of his background.
The nut jobs roommate?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me get to that. Let me see here. Boom. Here we go. Is that it?
No, I think you clicked on my messenger.
Oh, I did.
That was some of the King stuff. No Kings.
Is that from Warsaw? All right. This is this right here, Seth?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the bad guy's roommate, and it might give us some insight. I don't know.
Regardless if he was Republican or Democrat, I agree with Jonesy that the guy's just crazy.
Doesn't matter. I mean, crazy.
He's crazy.
Crazy comes
He's
on both
psychotic,
sides of the
right.
aisle. Please.
Can you talk about his politics a little bit? I know
This
that
guy's
you had
crazy.
some discussions. I just wanted to talk.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat. He would be offended if people called him a Democrat. He, because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community. But I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such a thing.
Did he ever bring up the senator or the representative who were targeted?
Like I was saying, no, he never talked about them. I didn't know those people. I didn't recognize their names.
Any politicians he mentioned?
Well, he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. He didn't like Jim Walz.
Jim Walz?
Didn't like Jim Biden. But
Tim Walz? What would you say about him?
well, I mean, nothing. I mean, it's just normal.
This guy's a whack job too.
I'm saying exactly. Crazy live with crazy.
Crazies live together.
He texted this guy and said, I'm gonna be going away or I'm gonna die.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was his. In fact, I think this was like his last text, right, to this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't like this that Tim Walz did this. I don't like that he did that.
Did he mention the protests that were planned for you?
Doesn't that seem really weirdly edited? That she's like when they cut to her,
it's like
it's bright, it's quiet,
It's almost like they've used his interview, and then they've slid her in to throw questions on what he's already answered, and they edited as if she was there,
right?
Where I don't think she might have been there.
No, it looks bizarre.
Yeah.
Did he mention the protests that were planned for
He
yesterday?
never mentioned the protest.
What do you make of everything that's happened here and the fact
Maybe
that
I mentioned it to him, but I don't think he mentioned anything about it.
What would you tell him?
I would tell him to surrender himself so he can be taken alive, because he's like my best friend, so I don't want him to be killed.
Are they like? It sounds like they're at somebody's house and two kids are playing.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Except for when he's being asked questions.
I don't want him to kill anyone else, So I think if I saw him, I could talk him down. But I don't know.
Who are the kids? Who brings a kid to an interview?
That's right.
Jesus.
And did he listen to any particular podcast?
Yeah, like Dan, you're right. This has been, I think, edited in. I think they had this girl go outside and had a bunch of people stand around her and say, "Listen, ask these questions that we can shoestring into his answers."
Yeah, but why would she be allowed to ask all the questions herself when there's 30 people there?
And the quality of her of her questions has a feel as if she's not there.
Or TV shows or anything online that concerns you?
Well, you listen to
InfoWars. Alex.
InfoWars. But,
Same birds. Maybe she was there.
I kind of told us well, it's like 50% truth. And, I kind of said, don't take everything what they say for granted. I wasn't a real truthful. I mean, they're on for some things, but some things are way off on.
Did he talk much about Trump? And what did he say, if so?
I was a Trump supporter. Voted for Trump. Do you like Trump? I like Trump.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be, they're going to try to shove this up Trump's ass or not. Hello. Let me make sure.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Pedro.
Oh, good. Let me alert me if it's Chomo Charlie. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's.
Pedro, the pool guy, who is I think the last time we spoke, Pedro, you were talking about your getting over cancer journey.
Actually, I sent over one of the results I got over the weekend. That it was actually not looking very good, to tell you the truth.
What did you send over, bud?
I sent it to him on Facebook Messenger that it's been ID'd as a glioblastoma type 4, wild type. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's literally.
Well, we got a real doctor here that can wade through that. So if it was just us, me, Lummy, and Seth, we have no idea what that is. But we got a doctor here. So, Dan, what does he have? What do you got again, Pedro? And Dan can wade through it.
It says, based on the morphology and molecular results currently available, the tumor should be considered a glioblastoma IDH12 wild type by NGS testing, mutated by NGS testing WHO grade 4.
So, Dan, what does that mean?
That means he's got a very serious brain tumor.
Oh, boy, Dan, you really...
It's he knows what it is. He understands it. I'm just reading it now. The pathology.
And I mean, let's. Is it not looking good for him?
Well, I mean, there are. What's what I'm looking for here? There are treatments. There are therapies. Surgery is the first part, and then there's immunotherapy and chemotherapy. Interestingly, these are the tumors that Brzezinski would help with his anti-neoplasms.
You mean the ones that our federal government tried to put in prison 4 times?
Yeah, I don't know if he's still around, but he'd be the first guy I'd call.
I don't think that he's still around, but I think his clinic is.
I'd call his clinic. I'd go straight to Brzezinski because there's really nothing conventional that's going to help you at this point.
In Houston. Mm-hmm. Lummy, will you look up and see if the Brzezinski clinic in Houston is still open? Because I think, Dan, they're trying to continue his work.
He was onto something, and he was taking cases that were like desperate cases. But this guy, at this point, just had a fresh resection. He's not metastatic everywhere. Now would be the time to actually try to get some kind of extra therapy like that, because the adjuvant therapy they're going to try to give him is, 10% effective.
Meanwhile, I think, did Brzezinski have like a 70% effective?
70 to 80 plus. And he was getting people like they were on their deathbeds. He wasn't getting them fresh like this, where they just had resection, had a low tumor load.
Pedro, are you familiar with Brzezinski?
I remember hearing about him, and I know of some of the work that he did. I did some diving over the weekend, my wife and I, and one of her colleagues is going to go down to South America, and we actually just asked him to pick up some ivermectin, because there's some research that shows that it can be a positive impact on this type of
yeah. The problem with that, though, is, and I read the same kind of thing there, but the problem is that there's no dosage specific to a tumor. How do you give it? Do you give it for 5 days? Do you give it for 30 days? Do you give it for just,
You take it forever?
2 days? Do you take it forever? I don't know how to do that. And so I've seen the studies that show there's definite anti-tumor activity to ivermectin. But what's the therapeutic dose?
You just don't know the amount and length.
For kidney cancer, for some of these brain tumors, for some belly cancers, it's absolutely it's shown to be effective in vitro and somewhat in vivo. But again, the dosage is the question.
Pedro, let me ask you a question. What started all this? Like, were you having headaches? Because, it was just probably, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Pedro, you've been with the show for a very long time, and it's just always, hey, it's Pedro the pool guy. My wife's a flight attendant. We would, have fun, talking about my fantasy of blasting a flight attendant, and it was always so lighthearted. And you were a pool guy, and then you did something else, and you lived in Cape Coral, then you lived on the other coast, and you've been just a mainstay of the show, just a regular dude, absolutely 100% Bubba Army. Just, we love you, you love us. Like, you're not a troll or a hater or anything like that. Like, you're the epitome of Bubba Army. And then, so what happened? Like, when and what happened? Like, this sounds like, Pedro, I'm not trying to be a dick or nothing, but this sounds very, very grave and very, very, very serious. And it's like, I feel like, I hope I don't get emotional or anything, but I feel like we might lose you. Like, I feel like this is not good. And so what happened and when?
Well, over the last year, my wife has been noticing that I've been very scatterbrained and my memory's gone to kind of crap and whatnot. And it wasn't big things. It was just, I'd forget a lot of stuff. And then we started a journey of trying to buy our house. and because we've been renting for 5 years, and we're like, okay, we got to buy something. The prices are down, and the day that we went for a tour, March 15th, I passed out in the driveway and had a seizure on the driveway. Ended up in the hospital for about 12 hours, and that was the start of all this.
Now, prior to that, though, Pedro, were you just like regular Pedro, rolling around, just maybe a little scatterbrained, and as you're walking into maybe this house that you potentially might buy, you fall over right there on the sidewalk and have a seizure?
Yep.
And
no headaches, no nothing. No, just rolling around, working my ass off, rolling hard at work and doing the best I can, and all of a sudden here's a seizure.
Now, at that point, do they call the EMS or call 911 and the ambulance comes, or does your wife take you, or what? What happens from that point forward?
Oh no, she called 911, and our 6, 13, and 17-year-old were all there, and they got to see it, so that was fun. I don't remember any of it.
It's traumatic
I woke
watching
up
a seizure.
in the back of an ambulance.
And you're having
I was out.
Having a
I was
seizure.
out for 20 minutes.
And you were out of commission, meaning like blacked out, not knowing where you were, completely gone for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you probably are in the hospital. When you finally come to, you're probably in the hospital.
No, I was actually in the back of the ambulance. I woke up and realized I was going down the road, and I grabbed my phone and called my wife, and I said, "Hey, what happened? Why am I in an ambulance?"
I mean, do they got? Are the EMTs like running an IV, and they got they're working on you?
They were, yeah. They were monitoring me. They had all kinds of things checking me out and trying to figure out what was going on. Then they started asking me questions. Do you know where you are? I'm like, I'm in an ambulance going down the road. That's all I knew.
And so they get you to the hospital, and then that's where do they do a CT scan, or is that where the beginning of what you potentially have started from that point forward, being admitted into the hospital?
Yeah.
Now,
a couple days after I got out,
Pedro, when was that event?
March 15th.
So
and then
that
I had brain surgery on May 29th.
So we're talking, less than 90 days ago. You're rolling around, getting ready to take a tour of a house, and you have a seizure, and you've since now been diagnosed with, stage 4 brain cancer.
Yeah.
Dan, is that what you would call what he has? Stage 4 brain. What would?
No, it's a stage 4. The tumor itself is staged. It doesn't. Staging of the cancer in general has to do with metastases, and so I don't know if he's metastasized outside the brain. Have they done that workup? Have you done a PET scan of the whole body?
Well, from what I understand from the oncologist and the attending surgeon, this type is not one that will metastasize or journey around the body. It stays in the brain.
All right. Well, that's a good sign.
So Pedro,
how big was the tumor? Because I didn't see the dimensions.
The size of a golf ball?
No, it was about the size of a lime, 6 centimeters long by 2 to 3 centimeters wide.
Imagine having that in your brain, Bubba. Something that large, something that's 3 inches by 1.5 inches in your brain. If you have like a tiny pebble in your shoe, you notice it.
Right. So now, Pedro, this is an outpatient deal. You're not. Right? And so, what's the next journey? What happens next?
Well, we got the one result over the weekend, and I'm supposed to have a scan, like another MRI, specific MRI, to classify the tumor. And then I have a video meeting with the oncologist on the 23rd. So within the next week or so, I'll be back over at the Cleveland Clinic for an additional scan to further ID it. And we're still waiting for a couple more pathology reports to come in.
So they haven't probably officially staged it yet. They're still trying to,
Now have they
evaluate.
now Pedro, did you say that you did have brain surgery, and did they remove that?
Yeah. I was
And what
in
were
the
the
hospital
margins?
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was that?
The margins, were they clear?
They said that it appeared they got all the entire tumor. However, because of where it is, what they removed is kind of like an octopus head, and then the body of an octopus, and then it left like tentacles, so to speak, and it infiltrated into the brain tissue.
So they didn't get to that part?
You can't remove all of it by surgery.
So they didn't remove all of it. Okay, yeah, you definitely need some significant therapy, adjuvant therapy, and
like chemo, radiation.
I mean, if
Dr.
he's
Brzezinski's still alive.
He is still alive,
Yeah.
and his clinic's still around.
Yeah.
I would call that guy, man. I'm telling you, go ahead and go through the conventional workup that you're getting done. Make sure you have a piece of tumor that they've saved for you so you can send it to him because he's going to want a piece of that tumor. And the pathologists have it. And you need to get involved early because your time is limited as to when you can have effective therapy. And especially if they did leave parts of the tumor, like it says, so they don't have clean margins, then it's your longevity is directly related to the effectiveness of this therapy after surgery. So I would absolutely do every possible thing you can, from nutrition to meditation to the conventional medicine to Brzezinski. All four.
Okay. Yeah, I know we're looking at our sugar intake, and that's one of the things that we've decided has got to cut out too, because it's like a cancer feeder.
Okay, yeah, okay, up to a point, but whether or not you cut out sugar is not going to determine whether or not you survive. It's this other stuff. Okay, just swearing off sugar is not going to get you cured.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Well, Pedro, will you keep us posted? I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is very
horrific.
It's horrific. It's horrific that I'm talking to, somebody that's been such great Bubba Army and such a great friend that potentially, is going through a really bad situation right now. It's I can't tell you how sorrowful I am, my friend.
I know. I appreciate it. And I love you guys. And
didn't they start a GoFundMe thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pedro, I don't usually make a point of this because I don't, because as soon as you open up the lid on the GoFundMe deal, it seems to be everybody. But in certain circumstances of great Bubba Army like yourself, I will promote them. And so if I'd like go ahead and give us your GoFundMe information because you're truly Bubba Army to the core, and I'd like to help you if I can.
I appreciate it, Bubba. I really do. I'll send over the information. I think Cracker Chris sent it over to Lummy, but I'll send it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We'll try to get that posted up soon, and people can give just whatever you can, 5, 10, whatever, just whatever. It's certainly going to be able to help our good friend Pedro. Pedro, I can't tell you how sorry I am, my friend, and I'm just we're thinking about you.
I appreciate it. And I'm not giving up, man. There's no way I'm giving up.
Nor do I want you to.
No.
I know you're a fighter. I know you're a strong dude. I know that, you've provided for your family all these years. I know, I got faith in your strength, my friend. If it can be beat, you'll do it.
I appreciate it, guys. And I'll talk to you guys really soon, okay?
Thank you, Pedro. Be careful, my friend. Thinking about you. Wow. Dan, is that really pretty bad?
It can be, yes.
We'll continue the Minnesota stuff when we get back.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
You had cancer?
Yeah. So I was trying to see if he was his wife died. I know his wife's dead. Okay, we are.
Where's Caviar and Rumble?
Yeah.
What's up, Caviar? I got your text, man. I'm going to write you back. Don't worry.
Shippy John, 75 months.
Thank you, Caviar.
I was just on the move this morning.
Street Glide Street, 46 months.
I'll get back to you. I normally forget about 3 things in my house in the morning every time I leave, so...
I don't think Caviar ever sleeps.
Well, I mean, I know he's on. Well, I mean, you know, if he texts me at 4 or something our time, you know, I figure it's like, you know, 1 over there.
Yeah, but like right now it's 7. He's up at 7:30.
Well, you know, he's an artist. True artists,
They never sleep.
when they're inspired, they're awake.
That's right.
You know, there are days when we don't hear from him for a while. I mean, he might be like a bear. He might go sleep for like 6 days at a time.
That's
Hibernation.
Yeah.
Bob, I did, and I don't know if you really want to talk about it, but the Warsaw protest, I sent you, there was an article on it.
Okay.
Can we get the... Can we talk to the Warsaw organizer?
Is it right here, Lemmy?
The last one, Ink Free News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. What's up, Thomas? Lunger, Berto, Ed, White Iced Tea. I want to be, can I be Capone instead of Gotti?
What's up, Jay Bowler? Larry Tips, hit that thumbs up button.
I think Capone had a house in St. Pete.
He did.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's in front of the Zimmer building.
It says the sidewalk was crammed.
Was this what protest is this?
Warsaw, the King's Parade, or the King's Protest.
60 people there? 50?
There it is.
I mean, it's got to be half the city.
That's right. That's Central Park.
Is that the heart of?
No, that's in front of the public library, actually. Yeah.
Is that the heart of the city?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much on Main Street.
Thank you, White Iced Tea. What up, Jim? What up, Swims? Oh, Samurai Lightning. Good question, man. I love Desmond Bain. I think it's a good move. I think it's a nice move for the Magic. I'll definitely be watching them more this year. A lot of people talk about the draft picks, but if you're going to win now, what's a draft pick in 2030 gonna matter? Desmond Bain's very good. Probably a number. I'd say he's a solid number 2. He could be. He's like a 1B. He carried the team a lot when John Morant was out. Him and Jaren Jackson. I'm here to break down the Desmond Bain trade. What's up, Iggy, Xerxes, Scotty? You got it, man. I got to get to a game next year.
Magic game?
Yeah, I want to see somebody good. Just want to see one Hall of Famer. Giannis, Luka, Joker.
Webb. Have you seen Webb?
Okay.
No. OKC.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabeto studios.
Aquabeto.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Again, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. That's how we stay on the air. Unfortunately. All at the Bubba Army. And we'll give you a shout out as well. Thank you. Picking this up, Lummy, the Minnesota guy, the nut job that killed the politicians There's two other stories. One, I think, when another story from Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, when it happened, and then finally the story of them capturing the guy. I think it was wasn't it late last night?
Yes,
late last night.
And wounded another legislator and his spouse while posing as a police officer.
I'm just glad that they got him alive. Now they can really, pick his brain and see what, why this happened.
Do not approach him. You should consider him armed and dangerous.
Around 2 a.m., police in Champlain, northwest of Minneapolis, responding to reports of a shooting at the home of State Senator John Hoffman.
Black SUV had red.
Actually, Dan, if you look at the door, it looks like
looking latex.
It looks like maybe that, maybe the window portion. What the hell did? Where did
it go? It
I don't know where it sent me. Yeah, it looks like, Dan, maybe that window portion took a lot of the inertia away. Because they had to go through a pane of glass. See, it looks like this door has a pane of glass and then a wood door.
Right.
So maybe the plane of glass really took a lot of the inertia away.
Or is that like a screen? No, it's glass. You're
It's
right.
glass.
It's glass. It's got reflection.
So having to shoot through that, right?
But there's no break-in in it.
Senator John.
Wait a second, Bubba.
On Hoffman.
Oh, so
Wait a
to me
second.
it looks like he may. I don't know. Maybe the bad guy had the glass part open and he was blasting the red door. Because you're right, there's no holes in the glass part.
Not even a ricochet.
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Black SUV had red and blue flashlights. Suspects posing as police officers shot 2 victims.
Officers finding
She's very
Hoffman and
matter of fact about it, wasn't she?
I think you got to.
Posing as a cop.
I think you got to. You can't be like, oh my God, I'm just letting you know. I think if you're a 911 operator, they teach you to be super calm in the most tense of moments because you got to get the information out.
wife Yvette in their home wounded, rushing them to the hospital. Meanwhile, 8 miles away in Brooklyn Park, a fast-thinking sergeant deciding to proactively check on the home of former House Speaker Melissa Hortman.
When they arrived at Melissa.
So the first set of people was the guy and his wife, and they got wounded and rushed to the hospital. And then there was this is some really good cop work. This is great cop work. So the sergeant said, I know where the speaker, is she the former Speaker of the House, Lummy, or is she the current gubernatorial? I'm sorry.
I thought she was the former.
I think she was the former Minnesota Speaker of the House within the state. And which
I believe Marco Rubio was at one point.
Right.
I mean, it's a really big position.
Statewide, it is.
Yes, but it can leapfrog into other federal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Office.
It's
a big job.
It's a big job. You're the Speaker of your House in the state,
It's a huge legislative job.
So this fast-acting sergeant, maybe from the same municipality or from a different, said, "Oh my God, okay, so I'm hearing this police traffic of this local politician that just got shot. I know where." The former Speaker of the House, another very, very, very powerful politician lives. Let me just go check. So he went over there and found her and her husband dead. This wasn't a call. Nobody called 911 for her. This was a cop. This is just great cop work. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna start heading over to her house. I know where she lives. It's not too far away. And he discovered them dead.
His house. They noticed that there was a police vehicle in the driveway with the lights.
Oh, I'm sorry. Caught him in the act, right? I think that they caught.
Well, there ended up being a shootout.
The second cop decided to go to this woman's house, the woman that got killed, and there ended up being the bad guy was there, had already killed them, and there was a shootout. Good cop work.
Speaker Melissa Hortman.
When they arrived.
God, I just would. Can you imagine, Lummy, if he just would have gotten there maybe 2 minutes earlier?
Yeah.
Could have maybe saved him.
Arrived at Melissa's house. They noticed that there was a police vehicle in the driveway with the emergency lights on, and what appeared to be a police officer at the door coming out of the house. When our officers confronted him, the individual immediately fired upon the officers, who exchanged gunfire, and the suspect retreated back into the home.
Inside, police finding the bodies of former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark. They say the suspect was dressed as a police officer, complete with a badge, vest, and taser, and a realistic-looking latex mask, fleeing on foot. Thousands told to shelter in place, officials warning residents their officers will only travel in pairs.
If there's only one officer outside the door, do not answer the door and call 911.
Authorities say they found...
Man, how freaked out would you be if you had a single guy that was this guy knocking on your door? I'd blow him away. I don't know. I think I would just stay. I'd just stay right there on my couch waiting for him to try to break in and catch him.
Holding a shotgun?
Oh, yeah. Holding my Mossberg.
Found a hit list inside the vehicle with names of dozens of Democratic Minnesota lawmakers.
And also no king flyers as well.
Including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Senator Tina Smith. Sources tell ABC News that abortion providers were also on that list, and law enforcement is looking into whether the suspect may have been motivated by extreme views on abortion.
Man, what has our country turned into?
It's so funny. Like, don't kill babies, but we're gonna kill people.
Yeah, exactly. You make an interesting point. Don't kill babies, but I'm gonna kill people who believe in that.
Police say they also found these flyers in the vehicle for the No King's Day protest taking place today. Organizers in Minnesota canceling them out of an abundance of caution.
This was an act of targeted political violence.
State Representative Melissa Hortman was a mother of two. News of her murder stunning lawmakers nationwide. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz heartbroken.
Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota. She is irreplaceable, and we've been missed by so many. Minnesota's thoughts and prayers are with her family. Her
poor thing, man. That guy looks like he forced his way in their house and killed her and her husband.
Is she the one that jumped in front of her kid, Lummy?
No, the one that got 9
bullets. Children and her parents.
And with that shelter-in-place order just lifted, even though that suspect's still on the run at this hour as this urgent investigation continues here in Brooklyn Park.
Why would they lift the shelter-in-place deal if the guy's still at large?
The FBI offering $50,000 for information leading to that suspect.
Oh, Dan, if he tries to break into me, I try to subdue him and put him in handcuffs so I get my $50K.
Make sure you call Crime Stoppers first, otherwise you can get screwed out of your money.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's so many people don't get that reward money because they make the wrong phone call first. They're called 911 instead of Crime Stoppers or whoever fronts that money.
Right.
And if you don't do it the way they want you to do it, then you don't got no money.
Yeah, because it said, hold on here, call 877 down here at the very, very end. Let me see here. I can't quite make out the number.
Yeah, you see him like, where's that number that I saw on that ad 2 days ago?
Call like 806. They got all these numbers they want you to call to get your money. So,
don't call 911.
Don't call 911. Call this and say, listen, how much is it? It's $50K. Okay, I got him. I got him. So I'm not even going to call 911. You call 911. Here's my address. I got him.
Unless you got him hanging by his feet with a trap that you set for him. I mean, you got to call that number first.
Suspect arrest, releasing these images just from a few hours ago of that suspect wearing a cowboy hat. They say he is armed and dangerous.
It's like OJ with his cap, with the ski mask or ski cap on. It's so obviously him. You know what I mean? It's just a horrific disguise.
Well, no, there was never a reward for OJ because he turned himself in and it was a Bronco gimmick.
An unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark.
Did they show his unmarked? Did they show his fake police car? Because that showed that what you showed, Bubba, was a real military type police vehicle.
I mean, I just got rid of that article because I think it was pretty much rehashing what I just played.
Yes.
Can you send me a video of I don't think he had red and blue lights. I think he had white. I've seen video of his squad car, and it was a black SUV with some kind of funky markings on the side that didn't look policey. But again, if somebody's knocking on your door at 3 a.m. with any type of lighting that looks like a cop, you don't know. You don't know if it's Tico and your transformer down the road just blew up and they're telling you, or it's a towing company that said somebody just ran into your front lawn and took out the whole entire hedge. Like, you don't know. I mean, you don't know. And then when when they're knocking on your door, and even if you don't answer your door, you're like, who is it? You're like, police. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you don't say, put your badge up to the peephole. Like, I mean, I think. Did you send me a picture of it?
I'm trying to find a really good picture of it.
Yeah. I don't think you. That's we're so conditioned to cooperate with the police that when somebody identifies himself as such, we just take their word for it, right?
Yep.
I mean, if somebody was knocking on my door at 3 a.m. and they're like, police, open up.
You don't want to get that battering ram and have them shoot you. You just try to be compliant, right?
I mean, like, how do I know you?
You don't arm yourself. You put your gun down.
Right.
That's the police.
You put if somebody was knocking on your door at 3 a.m, I would take my gun to the front door. Now, if that person is identifying themselves as the police, I don't want to open the door with my gun.
No.
You don't, because you're going to get blown away.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, please open up. There's an emergency in your neighborhood. Well, you wouldn't know any different. You would take them for face value. I mean, you can't.
It's not that bottom one.
Is it the bottom one? Okay.
Yeah, it shows a video of the car being towed.
Oh,
so you can kind of see it though.
Yeah. Oh, he did have red.
It's a Ford too, with white hubcaps.
Yeah, I mean, so let me. There was another picture of him pulled up right in the driveway, and I didn't know that he had red and blue in the windows, which but I know this light right here was white and yellow, and that's the lights that he had on when he was in one portion of video that I saw. But I mean, you're right, that looks like that
all day long. He's got the spotlight. It's all day long. I'd be fooled. Anyone. He's got the spotlight on the left. He's got the bumper. He's got the crappy hubcaps. He's got no. See, another thing, like, people don't realize, police vehicles. Those things on the roof, the rails that go from front to back that hold the racks. Police cars. Say that white car has it.
Yeah.
Police cars don't have them, so they can get those lights on top. So that's how you can tell an unmarked police car sometimes, if it doesn't have those rails.
If that car, Seth, has its blue and red going, and you got a guy that's got full, police garb on your door at 3 a.m. and said, open up, it's police, we got an emergency in your neighborhood, I'm opening it up.
Yep. I'd probably open it up if he had a Camry. I mean, I'd be fooled all day. I'd be a dead man.
Oh, I would be. Here's the thing, Seth. I would be too, and I'm armed to the tilt as Dan is.
Right.
I have I don't have as many guns as you, but I have half as many, and you only need one. Right. I got 2 or 3 AR-15s. I got a couple shotguns. I got Lummy, my cowboy Yellowstone shotgun. Right. I mean, I got all kinds of guns.
Do you guys get angry when someone knocks at your door?
Yes. I do.
I do too.
Yes. I do too. Mm-hmm. I get mad anytime anybody shows up.
It's interesting that Wallace has spent the last 3 weeks bully the bullies and being so inflammatory about fighting Trump and all the people that he feels are wronging him, and then this happens. I mean, he's been very, very vocal about stoking up opposition. He's been really loud about it.
Is Chomo Charlie on one of these two?
No.
Okay, cool. Hello.
Hey, Bubba. Something to add to that as well. Hortman, the chick that was killed, she provided the sole Democratic vote in Minnesota's lower chamber to pass a Republican bill that would strip adult undocumented migrants of state-funded health care. So 2 days ago, I saw her interview in the state house. Shortly thereafter, she just said, listen, this bill wasn't right. There's some additional things that need to be changed. But she was almost bawling. Like, she was crying. Like, at the time, 2 days ago, they were like, was she kind of thinking like, man, they're going to kill me for this.
So you were saying that,
but there was a list of 70 people, wasn't there?
Yeah, a big list.
So you're saying that this woman had a deciding vote on something, and she felt as if it was so. Her deciding vote was so, I don't know, important, egregious that it could potentially be problematic for her safety.
Yeah, there's a video of her doing the post interview, and it just happened on June 12th. So this is what, 4 days ago.
That this woman. What, did she have a press conference?
Yeah, they were doing a press conference, and she was explaining herself why she didn't pass it to grant benefits for illegals.
What are you putting together? What are you putting together here? Because there were 70 people on the list. She wasn't the only one that was killed.
I think he's saying that but she
it would have been a 68 person list if
that she knew that passing this bill could be problematic and maybe triggering to some people. Maybe, I don't know.
I sent you
and Seth,
press conference.
Seth, if this was a setup, also too, I saw that the shooter's wife was also appointed by Tim Walz. If you think for a second this guy's a Trump supporter with no Kings ads or flyers in the back of his car, and both he and his wife worked for the Walz campaign, like, you're nuts.
I don't know who. I don't know who they're going to try to. Presidentially, I don't know who's going to take the rap for this. But that just shows you the mentality of our country. Rather than to take a really, really tragic event, it's automatically got to be pinned on a political party. Like, how about this guy? How about this guy's just a nut job? And he shows like he has support for both parties, and he's just a bad person. And it doesn't matter who he voted for, who he support. I mean, if you're a Trump supporter, why would you have no King flyers? That's an anti-Trump deal. So it's like,
and both you and your wife worked for Tim Walz at one point.
Yeah, so I think the guy's very much. You know what? Rather than to make this a political issue, they should make this a mental health issue. That's what this really, really is. And
absolutely, but it's in the forefront as political because it's a political killing of a House leader. I mean, that is nuts.
So, all right, man, I appreciate you. Thank you. When I return, I have that speech that he spoke of. I'm trying to really stay on time today.
Yes.
So I have that speech that he spoke of, and then I have the article or the story from them capturing this nut job last night.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
No, I think Chat knows more about my wife than I do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. They know everything.
Nice, Andy. Born.
What's up, John Postica? There you are.
What's up, Johnny K?
Big blunder, 48 months.
I gotta look to see if we got any PayPal coming in here.
Bob Army tips. Thank you, Paper Towel Willie.
Hey, CC, good morning. Liz, good morning.
Crap 303, 62 months. Thank you much.
Alan Belton Hills.
I'm gonna do an air check, Lummy.
Yes, sir.
Close.
would you bring your whole list?
Three.
Cop car.
Huh?
I mean, the guy looks crazy. Why would you bring your whole fucking manifesto list in the cop car? You know what I mean?
Because he needs to read who's number three.
But you couldn't remember who he was going after?
Yeah, usually the list is at home still, right? They leave it at home.
Yeah. That just shows how crazy he was. He had to make sure his list.
He looks crazy. He looks
And it wasn't
crazy.
even on like a phone. He wrote it down.
Thanks, Cece.
What's up, Dirt Merchant? What's up, Uncle?
I'm not worried about there being like a war in the Middle East or anything. Unity 17, that's interesting.
Who won Red Sea pedestrian? Good morning, John Kostika.
So Kubica? He almost killed himself in a car wreck in Formula One.
Which was explained.
Oh, yeah, so there's Robert Kubica. Won Ferrari, 24 hours Le Mans. So yeah, they had a good day at Le Mans, but a shitty day in fucking Canada.
What up, John? What up, Dirt Merchant? What up, Paul?
He almost killed himself in a car years ago.
T12K, 38 months. Thank you.
What's up, Snez? Red Sea pedestrian units, Unity 17. Johnny K.
Sure take their most constitutional. What's up, Cecilia Redneck?
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Much love and thank you to Austin Bennett, an electrician, owns his own electrical company. I think that's where the Nash brother works. The one that's in love with anorexic Taylor Swift.
That's right.
Austin Bennett, thank you for all that you've done for us. And then John from Paradise Pools is helping the Merch Crick with her pool at the house that she's trying to sell. He's going to put a new liner in there for her. That's the one thing that she needs to get done. And John from Paradise Pools is getting that done. So thank you to both for your help. I think she had an open house this past Saturday. And she's like, I'm like, I don't think you were supposed to go to open houses.
No, you stay away.
Yeah, you stay away.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah, the realtor.
I think some people wanted to meet you guys.
No, I mean, well, maybe, yeah, but no, I
They're
know.
not there to buy the house; they're there to meet them. You know what I'm saying? That's just independent groups.
Is this Charlie Lummy?
No.
Okay, phew. I was scared. I
all of a sudden just
I should have
popped down.
consult with you before I just start randomly picking up phone lines. I don't want to be Chomo Charlie.
No Chomo.
Hello, who's this? Might as well be Chomo Charlie because there's nobody there. So this is the speech, or I guess the sound bite that the guy may have been talking about. It's only 13 seconds long. Minnesota legislator, special session ends. House, Senate passed 15 bills. I think, by the way, this is the woman that was gunned down, her and her husband killed by this monster in Minnesota. I think this was a few days. When was this? Just a few days ago.
I think it says June 13th.
Yeah. So, phew, this might have been like a day before she died.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and I'm.
Oh, she is upset.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me right. So, what was the bill that she was talking about that could potentially hurt people? Was it an abortion bill? Was it a, you know what I'm saying?
I think it was a funding bill for
immigrants.
Illegals, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and I'm. We worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision. I know that people.
All right, so it looks like it might be an immigration deal, and
case closed.
They tried to do a workaround. It was a budgetary deal, and they tried to get the budget approved without that language in it.
Yeah, they voted to cut health care access for adult illegal immigrants.
Now, I think this. And here's the thing: I just saw a sound. I'm sorry, Seth. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I just saw a soundbite from Hillary Clinton that said, these immigrants cannot get health care. Illegal immigrants are not afforded health care. So, why do people think that illegal immigrants need to? I mean, Seth has to spend half of his paycheck to get health care. And these illegal immigrants that are in our country illegally get free health care. Health care is one of the most, prestigious and coveted benefits you can get.
That's why people say that they think it should be free.
No, well, I mean, I don't think illegal immigrants, people that aren't part of our country, should be getting it. Seth, what were you going to say? I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
I think that the caller is taking you on a bit of a ride to try to prove that this has nothing to do with possibly being a Republican killer. There were 68 other people that were on the list other than the 2 people who got shot. If she was the only one who got shot and killed, then we could probably sit here and dissect her whole career. But there were 70 people that were on the list. He got to go to 2 of their houses before he had to go on the run.
We don't know who the other 50 people are.
They have the whole list, Dan.
Published?
Yeah.
Oh, they published the whole list?
Yeah.
I thought yesterday they hadn't published the list.
No, the whole list is it's Tim Walz, it's Omar Imhan, it's a bunch of other people.
A lot of pro abortion activists.
Now, have they broke the list up politically?
Yes.
Okay, and how does that score?
Lummy, you want to answer?
It's mostly Democrat.
Well, see, and that's what it's going to turn into. That's what this is going to turn into. It's going to, but then again, he throws you off by having no king flyers. This guy's smart. This guy wants to throw you off and be this, this anomaly that you don't know if he's a Trump supporter or a Democratic supporter. To me, it looks like he's probably more pro-Trump than he is anything. But then he throws you off on the abortion deal. You know what I'm saying? So, his
abortion deal is consistent with the pro-Trump deal. What throws you off is that this woman did a Republican maneuver and he still killed her 3 days later.
Yeah, I mean
that's what's that.
And
again,
unfortunately, we have to politicize everything that happens in our world.
And
kill politicians.
Bubba,
you're right. You're right.
But Bubba, this also shows that he's crazy because he's not even consistent within himself. If that makes sense. He's inconsistent.
By the way, I don't care if he's a Democrat or Republican. I care that somebody is so triggered that they want to go start killing politicians. Either side, that's what I'm worried about.
This is a mental health issue more than
this. This doesn't say whether it's a lib or whether it's a Trump supporter. It doesn't matter to me. I want to know who cares about politics that much out there that they're going to go start taking out politicians.
And at the expense of never, ever being able to live outside of a prison for the rest of your life.
Right, this guy clearly wasn't going to kill himself at all.
Does he have a wife and kids? Does anybody?
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah, she got pulled over, I think, yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Now, he was living with that guy. So is he having problems?
They said he would stay there, I guess, for work. Like he was working odd jobs because he was having trouble getting jobs.
He's crazy.
So here's a picture of this dude that they apprehended. And this is not what he looks like at all. This is him wearing a mask, one of those lifelike kind of skin flesh tone masks that are a little bit expensive. They're like $49 or $50, but if they're put on right and you tuck the neck like under a but if you tuck the neck underneath a shirt or something, I could see where it would look somewhat lifelike.
Do you think his police hat didn't come from Amazon in time for him to do this?
I think he wanted next day delivery and they didn't quite have it ready for him for his police hat. But everything else looks very police-like. This all looks very. This is. I don't know if this is taken from footage of one of the two people's homes. Ring. This kind of looks like ring or surveillance footage, does it not?
Yes, it does.
All right, so this is
just like a normal. Looks like just a policeman.
Right?
It looks. That's.
Cop
you
lights.
See that on your doorstep. You're opening the door.
Absolutely. All
day long.
Every one of us is.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us is opening the door for that guy because that guy looks to be like a cop.
And at 3 a.m, you're not thinking clearly yourself. You're disoriented. You're kind of in that sleep fog. You're waking up just barely awake and what's happening. You're trying to reset, and that is close enough to a cop to reset yourself.
He catch me on my way to work. He catch me on my way to work. I'm fully ready to go. He comes by my place at 3:30. I'm fully up, buddy. I've already eaten breakfast. I'm up. What's going on? I'd be killed immediately. I mean, I'm gonna open the door for this guy.
Yeah, with a bowl of cereal in your hand.
Yeah, with a bowl of shredded wheat in my hand. Here is, I think, the announcement that they caught the guy.
Drew Evans, I'm superintendent of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
By the way, it's not me, it's them with only having one side of audio. It seems like only the left side of the audio is playing.
As was noted and was previously described, Vance Bolter was taken into custody in Sibley County. We were with you earlier today.
Seth, I would love to see, maybe it's a little too early, but maybe they'll release it. But under the freedom of, all the newspapers and television stations and things, news media outlets I wonder if there's any body cam footage of from the police officer's apprehension.
Oh, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Did they?
They said he crawled to him.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Crawled?
So he must have been under some bushes or something like that, maybe?
He was in the woods or the forest or whatever they got out there in Minnesota.
Information about
you know what probably got him? A dog.
Yeah, they sure
I bet you the canine. Those canines, man, and they don't mess around and they bite.
But he was around his house. I don't know. I don't really know what his plan was.
Yeah, you don't hide in the bushes, right? Right across the street from your house.
I don't know if he was staying to finish the job or what was going on.
And hunt and the myriad of law enforcement.
And do we know a background check? Have they done a background check onto how many children he has? What is he still married to his wife? What does she do for a living? Are they just starting to peel this onion now and find more about this guy? Because this was late last night, was it not?
It says the couple has 5 children. They are still married. She looks like she's the president and CEO of Praetorian Guard Security Services.
All right, so like an ADT or like a security system kind of deal.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
They have come together working in partnership so that this evil cannot be continued. The first step in a case like this is that we take him into custody, and then the work will continue and begin to make sure that we have all the evidence we need.
Today's going to be the day where they start really grilling him, and more information, including that body cam footage and stuff, will come out. We're really, really early in on this.
Yeah, and you wonder how much of it's real and how much of it is, a little bit of speculation. Don't you love the signers' facial expressions? They're so great.
No, I don't like signers at all.
What do you mean you don't like them? Do they like clowns to you? I mean, like scary clowns?
No, it's just...
you just... Really?
You don't like this one, Bubba.
Yeah.
To ensure that he is held accountable for his crimes. Please bear with me, but I think it's important because it has been noted by the governor, just to give you some background on the teams that were down there, and I may even be missing some in terms of this because there were long.
I would be so thrown off, be like, can you step over a little bit?
She's very close.
You're a little too close to me. You're throwing me off.
I mean, she can't even fully extend. I mean, when she wants some space.
Yeah, they need to have her on a separate little deal, like her own little podium.
On TV, it's closed captioned, so you don't even need her for TV.
Right.
Law enforcement partners, not just from the Twin Cities, but across the state of Minnesota that came
This is some
together.
woke stuff for deaf people,
The
Bubba.
Brooklyn Park Police Department.
She could be like, man, this guy's a real asshole. Like, I mean, you don't know what she's saying.
Well,
Tri-City SWAT team, Eagan Police Department, Burnsville Police Department, our South Metro SWAT team, the FBI, ATF, United States Marshal Service, State Patrol.
Man, they had so many agencies get. I mean, this guy they were going to get this dude.
Well, two things that really get everybody upset is kill a cop or impersonate a cop.
Yes.
Those are two things that they get really, really pissed off about.
Washington County Sheriff's Office, Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, the Richfield Police Department, St. Paul Police Department, Bloomington Police Department.
Hey, sir, I think it'd be easier to say that every known agency in the entire state of Michigan, of Minnesota, along with every federal agency known to man, was in on this deal. Instead of like naming them all. Come on. Hold on, I gotta hit this. My bad.
Department, Sibley County. We had Riverview Medics, Green Isle Fire Department, and LifeLink in the area, in addition to Prior Lake, Crow River SWAT,
All right,
and the
man.
Hennepin County Sheriff's
Who
Office.
cares
Again,
what
I may have been
EMTs
missing,
were
and I
there?
apologize to my partners for that we do that. I share all of that for you because that's the commitment when this sort of evil is in one of our communities, that law enforcement comes
By the way, let me.
together
Who's this dude? Who's this dude?
I got to find out who that
to
is.
put all of their resources together to make sure that that person is taken into custody.
He looks like the guy. He looks like the brother on Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That is so that people across the state of Minnesota and legislators that were targeted in these attacks and that may have been listed can breathe a sigh of relief as quickly as possible as we came together in an incredibly complex set of circumstances in that. He was arrested, as you saw earlier this evening.
Now, let me hold on.
Jeez.
It's 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and they could have actually started it from right here.
Yeah.
Like right here, instead of giving the EMT, the fire department, every police agency known to man. At 2:05, they could have started it. Here's where they're saying they got him.
In the area of 35600 block of 200th Street, Green Isle. What happened in that is, as we noted, there was a manhunt going throughout the day in that area that we've discussed previously.
I'm sorry, I just can't help stop watching the signer.
I know, I can't. That's all I can see.
She looks constipated. She looks mad.
There was information provided that he was seen in the area. When that information was provided to the investigators that were conducting the ground search, they converged on the area with a number of SWAT teams with the assistance of the Air Wing from Minnesota State Patrol. And we'll provide a few more details about the end of coming into custody in a little bit.
She's telling the Harry Potter
He was taken
story.
into custody at that time. He is in custody, and a reminder for anybody that was not, when we've previously said that, taken into custody under a state criminal warrant. That information will be made public, if it is not already, detailing the complaint that he is charged in the cases at this time with the murders of Speaker Hortman and her husband, Mark Hortman, also with the shootings in John Hoffman and Yvette Hoffman for those crimes, and will be moving forward. We are also in close contact with our federal partners, both the FBI, United States Attorney's Office, who are examining whether or not additional charges should be brought at the federal level related to this at this time. There is a lot of investigation that continues, and I'm going to turn it over to Chief Bruley to provide some comments on this and the work. I just want to tell, certainly for the communities of Champlin, City of Brooklyn Park, you both have incredibly professional police departments that work day in, day out.
This sounds like just a big Johnny Rah-Rah ass-kissing fest of all the agencies, which, by the way, I'm very appreciative of, and thank you for your hard work. But we want some details.
This guy's the director of the
to bring
BCA.
justice and work towards that, not only for the families and the
What,
loved
the Bad Guy Capture Association?
The Bureau of
ones in the
Criminal
community
Apprehension.
that are impacted, but for the entire state of Minnesota, and our teams
Minnesota.
are incredibly proud to work alongside them and all the law enforcement partners. And so with that, I will turn it over to Chief Bruley for some comments on this, and the work will continue in partnership with them and others.
Yeah, thanks.
I wonder what he gets excited about.
That guy, I don't know.
I was thinking the whole time, man. What does he do for fun?
Maybe when the Vikings win or the Twins.
I can't even see him. I can't even see him being effective. He doesn't like sports. He's one of those guys.
Yeah. There was a massive nationwide protest over the weekend, organized by one of the Walton heiresses. She wasn't even really a Walton. She was married to a guy that was the brother. I'm sorry. She was married to the son of Sam Walton. Sam Walton was the guy that invented and discovered Walmart. And a little town called Bentonville, Arkansas, was the first Walmart. And that's where their national headquarters, or that's where their world corporate headquarters is. And so one of his sons, obviously, I think all the Waltons are very rich. This woman that organized the No Kings event wasn't even an original Walton. She married the son of Sam Walton, and he subsequently died in an ultralight plane crash, and she got all of his money.
Yeah, she's worth $19.3 billion.
Billion.
Jesus.
And so she doesn't like Donald Trump, and she thinks that he's a king, and he has, whatever.
Talk about an oligarch.
So she organized this No Kings protest that happened all over America on Saturday. I didn't hear of really any. I know that Warsaw, Indiana, Lummy, had a very peaceful protest. There's the protest in Warsaw, Indiana, right outside the public library. Ooh. And everything went real peaceful.
They threw cotton balls and had squirt guns.
So, I mean, this is, I think that's about the extent of it right there.
Nice.
Warsaw, a very heavy Republican-based area. So I guess these are the 100 people in Warsaw, Indiana, out of the 12,000 that hate Donald Trump. It's not a wonder the Trump people were on the other side of the aisle. So that was peaceful. But I guess within the No Kings protests, there was one fatality.
Somebody got shot in Utah,
but we don't know that they died.
Yes, they died. They died.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Okay.
2 people got shot. 1 person died.
Now, is this in Riverside, California? And is this part of the No? I think this is. That's
what it says.
Just in, No Kings rioters attacked a driver in Riverside, California. So the driver drove through the crowd to escape. Well, now in California, that's probably going to get you arrested.
Not in Polk County.
Not in the entire state of Florida. You've been told by your political leaders, including our governor, to gas it up and run over them.
A lot of sheriffs have come out and doubled down on that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
oh boy,
here's what I understand. Everybody is so mad and so, taken back that a guy sitting at a stoplight and that the protesters come and crack his back left, brake light, crack it and is hitting his car. He gasses. What's next? If you're sitting in your SUV,
I think he did the right thing.
I think so too.
It's just hard to watch somebody get run over.
It's just like they say, FAFO. And if these guys keep taunting people, they're going to get hurt.
So here
it's
you
like
are
standing in front of a tank and expecting the tank not to run over you.
But here's the deal: like, if this is Phoebe or this is Ashley, or this is Merch Crick or whatever, and maybe they have maybe it's a woman who's got her children with her. And you're just minding your own business.
I think this is the only move.
This is it. And you are being attacked. They are attacking your vehicle. You got to do this. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, my God, I can't believe they ran over people. Well, then don't attack my vehicle.
Did that speed bump survive? Man.
I don't know. I don't think that anybody died.
Oh.
So, I mean, I think this is a pretty gangster-ass move.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. One of our protesters got ran over. How about the protester that hit her back light and tried to, vandalize her vehicle while she was, waiting at waiting at a light. Lawfully waiting on a red light, and you have, smashed her left tail light. What is she put? She doesn't know that it stops at a smashing of the left tail light. She doesn't know that you now smash in her left side windows,
or try to pull her out of the car,
or try to
and
pull
beat
her
down.
Or try to pull her out of the
right.
car.
You have no idea you're being attacked by a crowd.
First hit. If you're going to stand in front of a vehicle that's being attacked at the protest you're attending, and that person gasses it up and runs over your buddy, that's the cost of doing business, my friend.
How'd they get face down, like on the street like that?
I mean, a car spit you out. I mean, I don't know.
Oh man!
Even your Ford Hemi.
Have you seen anybody ever get run over like that and kind of in real life? I mean, that's hard to watch, man.
Yeah, I think I have.
It's easier watching people get shot.
There's a little kid over there.
Yeah, and what are you allowing your little kid out there for? It's amazing how the whole big, oh my God, I can't believe it. That the aspect of this whole scenario is the person got ran over. He survived, by the way.
Oh.
So, but that's what everybody's most upset about.
No.
Oh yeah, they're not. Nobody is.
Dude, I've spit out of a Wendy's before because of a homeless guy came up to the window when I had Sam in the back seat. I mean, I didn't care who was behind me or who was around.
You
so
would run him over.
Yeah. So if this happens, it's the same thing's going down.
Here's what I don't understand. Maybe Steve can help us as well. I don't know if this man went to a No Kings rally or he just posted on his social media that he might be going to one, and if he goes there and you start messing with him, that he's going to do bad things. Florida man arrested, accused of threatening protesters over social media, just run them over. Now, if our politicians have, and Dan, we saw our very own governor last week says, in Florida, if you're at a protest or you're at a stoplight or somebody gets in front of you and they're impeding your way, run them over. That's what our Grady has said it. Chronister has said it. The guy from Miami said it. And more importantly, they've gotten their marching orders from the governor. So everybody said it. I don't understand how a guy can get arrested for potentially posting it on his social media that I'm going to this particular, whatever. And if you get in my way, I'm going to run you over.
I sent you the two things he said on his post on Facebook.
Is that what?
Does he live in Florida?
Yes, he lives in Dunedin.
He lives in Dunedin.
Yeah, I didn't see the actual run over, but I mean, it's clean to do it if you're really feeling threatened in Florida. That's, I mean, what the word on the street is by the governor and law enforcement. So,
yeah,
but if you didn't do it, Lummy, I don't think he did it.
No, he said he's spending so much money on gas, driving around, just looking and hoping to run across protesters or people crossing the street with signs saying "Don't deport our illegals," so I can just run them over.
But you haven't ran anybody over.
I carry a couple of bricks and Molotov cocktails, so I can put them in their hands like a throw-down weapon.
You've not run anybody over. You've only posted that you would or could. How could they? This guy's looking for
trouble, and he got it.
We'll get to it next. I have to be strictly on time today.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
I was like, I'm not saying he needs to be in jail. I just think he's an idiot.
He is an idiot.
Snow King's protest in the Bay Area stayed pretty peaceful, but there was at least one arrest for
He did ask for it.
comments. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office arrested Eloy Garcia on a felony charge of threatening communications or threat of mass shooting. Investigators say
But I bet you that guy that just shot up those politicians and put threatening stuff online too. Way worse than this guy.
Quote, bricks and Molotov cocktails so I can put in their hands like a throwdown.
What a fucking douche.
I know I know that's a douche, but how do you fucking arrest a guy when you got your mayor and you got your governor saying run him over? So you're basically just saying I'm gonna run you the fuck over if you get my way.
I think it's one thing to be in the situation where you have to run somebody over, which is almost like a life and death situation, and trying to find people that you can just run over, which I don't think is. Just running people over, I don't think is legal.
It wasn't an imminent threat. This case will get thrown out.
Oh, no, I'm not saying
is this what you said
anywhere. No, I'm not saying
Gary
it.
said that to me to see. He wanted me to have you watch that and maybe make a comment on it.
Who did?
Gary Cantrell.
Okay. I know, but this is bullshit. When you got your police, okay, I'm gonna.
Bubba, why do you post that stuff on social media? What's the end game? Are you looking for attention?
Yep.
Well, here you got it, man. The motherfucker got what he wanted. That's what we want in life, right? When people want something and they get it, there should be happiness. I only protest in 85 degrees or cooler. You gotta get fucked if you think I'm going out in 96 for any cause.
Do you go out and protest?
No, God, come on. I don't know. First of all, there's really, I don't see anything I could protest. To get me out in that heat with other disgusting fucking sweaty heathens.
I know.
Saturday was hot too.
I know. I won't even go to, I don't even want to go to a Bucks game because I don't want my knees to touch another guy's knees next to me.
Yeah,
it's so in vogue though. Protesting's the thing to do.
I know. They say they pay protesters, but no one's offered me shit.
Me neither.
Standing out on fucking Dale Mabry having to hold up a sign that when Checkers introduced breakfast for the first time was the closest I'm ever getting to protesting, and I didn't like it.
I thought you were going back.
I held that breakfast sign up right in front of my face. I was so embarrassed.
This aquavado is delicious.
I've been in El Salvador. It's nice.
Yeah.
What up, Bubba fam?
So you have our type answers you just talked.
Come on, this part.
Oh man, nobody looks comfortable protesting. Carry a fucking sign around.
It's hot, Mike.
Touch strangers.
This week you can say, fuck you, motherfucker. You can't say that in the article.
I did see something. I think it was in California where a guy broke his ankle, and then a guy went to go help him, and the guy dropped his camera. The cop kicked it.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
There was a guy in California who fell down, and I guess he broke his ankle, and there was a member of the media, looked like a photographer or something, that kind of just bent down to help him, and the cop pushed him, and the guy's camera fell down, so he asked the cop if he could get his camera when he got up, and the cop kicked it to him, and it just broke in two pieces.
Jeez. It's some good body slams I've been watching on videos at these protests.
I sent that video to Bubba if you wanted to watch it.
That video?
I like how they're carrying the guy that broke his leg away though.
Let me show me what video.
The one Seth just was talking about. The guy broke his leg. The cameraman was helping him. The cop kicked the camera, broke it in half. And they're dragging the guy with the broken leg away. The cops pushed him into it, too.
And this is the police. This is not like the.
I mean, we got a break by 52.
Yeah.
53.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabeto studios. Aquabeto.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I know a lot of people in this room don't agree with me on this, but I just fundamentally can't understand that if you're living in Florida and you've had your state lawmakers, including the highest state lawmaker there is, the governor, tell you that if you encounter protesters to gas it up and run them over. You've had Grady Judd say the same. You've had Chad Chronister. You've had the chief of police for Tampa. Everybody's in lockstep with regards to if we're not going to let this be LA, we're not going to let people stand in front of your vehicle, and you instead you should do like what we saw a few minutes ago from Riverside, and you should gas it up and run over them. If you're lawfully on the streets traveling and they impede your travel, then you have the right to run them over. Here's the sheriff of, I think, Brevard County or somewhere down there.
Yeah, it's somewhere in South Florida.
So this guy really is stiff.
I'm gonna break it down for you. All right, and if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail.
It seems like everybody's trying to be the next Grady Judd.
Yeah, but no one can do Grady like Grady.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I really feel like the guy, the Chitwood guy in Volusia, and
If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard...
See, they need to be like Chronister. Chronister doesn't try to be like anybody. He just shoots you straight, and it's in a Chad Chronister type way.
He's so smooth.
He's not trying to be anybody. He's just going to give you the facts.
County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave. In our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street.
What county is this?
If you spit
Brevard
on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
So it's okay for this guy to say it.
This has got to stop.
But you, as Johnny Dunedin, Lummy, you can't say the very same thing on your Facebook or on your social media, saying that if you get in my way, I'm going to run you over. I got Molotov cocktails that'll, bomb you.
No, that's not what he said, though, Bubba. Here's the problem with what he said. There's a distinction here. He's saying that if someone gets in front of my car, I'm going to run them over. And I have Molotov cocktails and bricks to plant on the victim after I run them over to look like they're going to threaten me with a Molotov cocktail or a brick. That's the part that's illegal.
Okay. I didn't know that part.
He put an LOL after it.
King's protest.
Yeah, there you go. Lummy, you know what? You should be his lawyer. That gets him right out of jail. All charges dropped immediately. But Your Honor, what? He put an LOL on the gimmick.
That really will work. But there was at least one arrest for some online comments. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office arrested Eloy Garcia on a felony charge of threatening communications or threat of mass shooting. Investigators say he posted on Facebook threatening to hit protesters with his car and adding that he carries, quote, bricks and Molotov cocktails so I can put in their hands like a throwdown weapon. Someone else saw the post and reported it to law enforcement.
God. And now this guy's in jail. And he, by the way, he didn't. Steve, wouldn't you have an argument that you didn't do any of that?
For sure.
You were just under. I guess maybe maybe freedom of speech does not allow a threat or something like or an.
It's got to be an imminent threat, Bubba. This isn't an imminent threat.
And the LOL literally gets him out of trouble. I mean, as funny as that is, that's like he was kidding. He's joking. He's being sarcastic.
Not only that, Dan, but unless he traveled to some of these protests, if he just stayed at his house and watched, the Indiana Fever New York Liberty game like I did on Saturday, I mean, how you can't. I mean, he really didn't. He didn't fall through with it.
This is like England.
So this was I think what you were talking about, Seth, where a guy's protesting, and Seth, you set it up.
There's a guy that I don't know if he's down already, but he breaks his ankle, and then a member of the media goes to help him, and then he gets pushed down by the cops, and then they kick his camera.
Semi-auto glass, Mike, $50.
Oh man, thank you, Semi-auto glass. We need it, definitely need it. Slow month. Bro, there's my camera.
They're dragging the guy that broke his ankle. If you can, there's a lot going on, man.
And look at the hippie dude.
He falls on him.
Man,
that's like one of Dan. That's like Dumber, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
Hey, dude, my camera's right down there, dude. I ain't causing no problems. Now, again, the hippie dude was originally trying to help the other dude, right?
Yes.
So this guy here has a broken ankle, and these two dudes are trying to help him. And the cops,
you got to leave behind, Bubba. I mean, this is like you can't. Every man for himself.
This just
Go
goes
on without me.
But this just goes to show you that sometimes cops, and I'm not talking bad about cops. Nobody supports police officers more than us. But sometimes, they're so programmed just to everybody's guilty, everybody's doing something wrong. They don't have the ability to stop and decipher as to what's happening. They're so programmed just to keep people moving along that you couldn't say, "Sir, hold on. This guy has broken his ankle. We're trying to help him."
Right.
No, they're just keep moving along, Sir, my camera is back there. This guy has broke his ankle. You can't. They you have to speed talk. They don't want to. They have no time for any explanation at all. There are some people that are in this protesting, nightmare that need help or that are in a situation that's not one that's threatening your safety as a police officer or anybody for that matter in the community. This guy broke his ankle. Bro, police officer, sir. My buddy broke his ankle.
Put the blue tent up and help him.
Yeah, he needs concussion protocol immediately. They even pushed the hippie. Yeah. The poor hippie dude, he's just high, trying to just chill out. Watch.
Oh, they really do.
Actually, you know what, Steve?
That's a Diaco law. Called Diaco law.
What I'm saying is I would think that the police agency or the sergeant or the lieutenant or the chief or maybe the mayor of wherever this municipality is, they potentially, this could be a disciplinarian problem by saying, hey, listen, you gotta give some people a break. You gotta communicate. I think you gotta communicate. Not just everybody's there ready to throw a fireball. There's some people that were hurt, and what did you do? You shoved them.
Right.
And the hippie dude, he's not causing any problem. First of all, the three of them, you got the guy that broke his ankles on the ground, then you got the guy with a backpack that's trying to help him, and then you got the hippie dude.
They're all going to be best friends forever now.
Yeah, they are. But here's the deal. None of which are armed with a Molotov cocktail. None of them are doing anything threatening. I don't think they even have a protest sign. I don't even think that they have a sign in hand, and they're just moving along.
Kind of looks like they're walking to the protest route.
Yeah, exactly.
And the hippie guy, when he asked for his camera back, isn't a dick about it either. He's kind of like, hey, it's my camera back.
That cop right there.
Right there.
That cop right there.
He looks like a meathead too.
He does. He's like, dude. He looks like Pauly Shore with long hair.
Looks like a doctor's bag he's got too, doesn't it?
Dude, I think that's like a boom box, like maybe project your voice or something.
Oh, speaker.
Bro, my camera's right there. There's your camera. Man, come on.
Selfie stick.
He didn't even get the pieces.
Yeah.
Like they're just being dicks there. That's gonna get them in trouble.
No, I'm
telling you.
No, not just that little clip. I don't think LA is gonna sit around and dissect the hippie that got pushed on top of the broken ankle guy. They're probably laughing at it.
Various scenes and footage of the Israeli/Iran missile exchange.
Gene Lasker predicted this. He predicted this war in Iran.
He went and took his money out of the bank.
He was talking about it, but he was worried about this like on Wednesday, Tuesday.
He's been worried about this for a long time.
He's got some intel that we didn't have.
He's a genius.
He calls me up like on Wednesday. He goes, "Hey, how about it?" I go, "Yeah, what's up, Gene?" He goes, "Do I need to be worried about what's going on with Iran?" And I go, "What's going on?" Well, them and Israel are bombing each other. And I go, "Okay, well, what's that have to do with us?" Sarah said that the banks are going to close down. There's going to be a blackout. Everybody, I said, well, first of all, your money is insured. Only $100,000. I just checked FDIC. I go, okay, well then, Gene, you know what? If you got more than that in the bank and you want to take it out and put it underneath your mattress to make you feel better, then then do it. I think I might. So I think Lummy, he did.
He did. He said he did. I messaged him on Sunday. He said, hey, how's your cash doing? He said, I got it all safely at the house.
Now
in a safe.
Now here's the thing, man. I only got about a minute or two. So I'm going to play this one piece, and I'll play more later. But the Israel Iron Dome has done a really, really good job. But there were quite a few that got through because they've been just throwing so many at it that the ones that have gotten through have been, pretty devastation. Like there's been a lot of. I think there's how many killed? 10 or 12 killed.
I know 10 overnight.
So like you don't know which ones are getting hit by the anti-missile, deal, and which ones are really missiles that are coming through. I guess you really don't know, right?
You can see them exploding.
Oh, the ones that get hit in the air?
Yeah.
Okay. But the ones that don't get hit in the air and actually make a hit, here's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Brutal.
When do we get involved?
We are involved.
Well, I know. I mean, but when do we really get involved? When do we?
We really are involved. I mean, this is all of these missile protection systems are through us, from us. The missiles they're firing into Iran are ours.
It's like saying, when do we get involved with Ukraine? We've been involved since the beginning.
Yeah, we're in World War. When do troops hit the ground? I mean, this is new war. This is a lot of drones, a lot of missiles. There's not a lot of combat, man on man.
When do we get involved and make it over? Because I think we have the technology to. They're saying that this is depleting Iran's, what they have, like like they're not going to have a lot left. They can't continue this volume much longer. Do we come in then and like what do we what do you think our plans are?
My prediction, Gene Lasker prediction, is that both wars, all these wars, will be over by the end of summer, if not sooner.
Including Iraq, Russia.
Ukraine and Russia will be over. Yep, they will not go into the winter because it's brutal cold there, and it's played out. There's nothing left of Ukraine. It's going to end. All of them are going to end very soon. Very soon. That's my prediction.
Steve's all about rainbows and butterflies.
No, I mean,
Steve's always been known as a settler. Rob Adams and Jay would go to court in a minute, and Steve would say, "Let me have lunch with the guy and see if I can get this thing settled out."
I'd have had it worked out for sure, all of it. For sure.
Yeah. If it went to trial, it's because Steve couldn't get it handled. I'm just saying. I mean, Steve usually he was Mr. Wolf.
I am the lover. They but it's good to make peace when you have big sticks behind you, and that's what's happening here.
He's Captain Olive Branch.
Look at that. That's a hit.
I mean, Israel's only gonna put up with a certain more of that.
There is a distinction here, Bubba. Is that Israel has been targeting Iranian military targets, and Iran is just targeting civilian Israeli targets. So there's a little bit of a mismatch here.
Well, I mean, Israel and us, we've been targeting military establishments with nuclear capabilities that we think. We're trying to stop that. That's what we're most afraid of, is it not?
No, that's it.
Yes.
Is that they have, or they launch something nuclear, or they're continuing to develop something nuclear. I think that's what our biggest concern is, where I think we should just haven't we taken out like 6 or 7 of their top officials, their military and their leaders?
Yep, and their nuclear scientists.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot left.
Nope.
So this will be done soon?
Yeah, and they wanted to go after the Ayatollah, their civilian leadership, and evidently Trump put a kibosh on that for now.
When we return, we'll be probably right on time for Joe Exotica.
Yeah, he should be right there.
He should be right there. Stand by.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
He's still over.
See you, Danny.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye, Danny.
Have a great day.
Aquaman 666, 77 months. Chest Bubba fan. You know it, Dave Rock.
Oh, shit. You're the man, Ryan. Thank you.
Good morning, Rainey. What's up, Kabuki Jones?
I'm looking forward to it. I guess I'll probably get it tomorrow.
I didn't know when they've given money. Like, he was just
Soy el esposo de Tyler King, Joe Exotic.
It all depends. Like, later. It may pop up on the screen.
Hola, muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Jorge Flores Maldonado. Soy el esposo de Tyler King, Joe Exotic. Sigo pidiendo clemencia. Sigo haciendo videos.
Now, Lummy, was this guy in prison with Joe? And they yoked him out of prison?
Yeah, that's what I believe he was saying, is that he was in the same prison. So you can see where it's saying. You talking about his boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, Sco. Thank you. I did.
Yeah, they met at while they were in prison at the Federal Medical Center in Fort Worth, Texas.
And his name's Jose, right?
His name is
Jorge.
Yeah. There's a 29-year age difference.
Jorge, and there's a 29.
And they got engaged October 24.
And they were in prison together, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then how about the butthole art?
That's where he left that, supposedly left it for him when he got out.
Do we have that? But I don't think I can put it up on the screen.
I know Macho is hesitant about it.
I would, Boondocks. I think I have a couple. What's up, Fred? Hope you're good, man. Ryan, are you saying that there might be a package here for me?
Which part, Charles?
Allegedly, there was a delivery last Friday.
We should be at 2. we should be at 58.
Let me pop back in. He should be calling the warm line.
Okay.
I ordered a card from somebody on eBay on May 25th and haven't gotten it yet.
Did they send it? Do you know how they sent it, Seth?
I think USPS.
Oh, that's the worst.
What up, redneck?
I don't think that there was any violence on the No Kings in Tampa.
No. It looks like there was, in Florida, there was only 3 arrests, and they happened in Ocala.
What up, radio? Oh, we gotta play that lady. Good morning. That drunk lady.
Oh yeah, we're going to. This one right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Some stuff gets sent to the studio. Most of the stuff gets to my house.
I've been wanting to see that drunk clip.
Oh, wait till you see it. They got rid of her real fast, and she got the worst teeth known to man.
What up, Wyatt?
She came out, she's like, I'm not drunk. I wasn't drunk.
Oh, she came in hot, man.
I wanted to like it for you, but it was pretty much a sleeper.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't like the history lesson?
I mean, it was a slow lesson.
Revolutionary
It could have
War.
speeded, and I thought the marching was kind of lame. There was a lot of guys out of step. I was like,
They really dropped out the Korean War. The Korean War.
I don't know that I can't play video when I have. Oh, he's going to be on the phone.
Yeah, he's just on the
Oh, okay,
phone.
okay, I got it.
No, this is sad. Oh man, I can't do this.
So it's 58.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabeto studios.
Aquabeto.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We haven't been. I don't know that we've ever been this on time.
No, we're
out of the
time.
9 o'clock, before 9 o'clock. Joe Exotica is supposed to call us right at 9 to continue our conversation that we were having with him. With the fact the thing that he's most worried about now, or what he's championing now, is to get a pardon, as Trump, really has been pretty loose on the pardons. And I think the most recent would have been the Chrisleys that were, sentenced to 12 years. One was 7 and one was Todd and, I don't know what the woman's, Todd and Julie Chrisley, the famous, or the reality star show people who I never really cared for.
No.
I never.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't like them. I didn't like his shtick. I just didn't like him. And I think they really did defraud, regardless of what your political affiliation is. I think that they really did defraud the bank out of some money. And I think that they, and you would think that Trump wouldn't. Well, maybe that's a subject that's very close to Trump's, heartstrings, and the fact that when you get thrown in jail or prison for the defrauding of a bank, when maybe you didn't, because they threw 34 counts on Trump for that, but he really didn't do it. He didn't overinflate the value of Mar-a-Lago like they said he did. And then he paid back all the money that he borrowed actually early.
No victim.
And I don't, Steve, maybe did Trump bring up as a witness the bank people, that said that could have testified and said, he paid back his loan.
Yes. All the banks said they would do business with him again. Actually, it was such a corrupt process. My old partner was the lawyer for that case.
Oh, that's
Chris
right.
Kise.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. We're still very close.
And was he keeping you abreast of how much of an absolute just witch hunt railroad job it was.
The whole story is incredible. And so I think with the Christie thing, it wasn't that they were innocent. It was that they were so overly sentenced. I mean, most people that get in trouble for the first time, they do months, maybe a year. And they were doing major, big time because they fought it. They tried to defend themselves.
And I think that they spent like 2 or 3 years, which is probably enough, which is probably probably what the sentence should have been.
Yes. Yes.
24, 36 months to something like that.
That's
so
right.
Maybe he felt, hey, this is the, what the average sentence should have, could have, would have been. And so I'm going to let him out. Lummy, again, we're over here scrambling. Looking for a Joe.
Let's check in with Lummy. Now, Lummy, how are you feeling? Joe Exotic, 2 minutes late right now. This is clearly cutting into his 15 minutes that he has on the phone with us. We're down to 13.
Seth, I responsibly, last time I
it's
made
a Hall of Fame move.
No, but hold on. Last time, Seth, I actually made a mistake and went into commercials right now.
Yeah.
And then he called and then just was I completely screwed the pooch on the last one.
But today, it's on him.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
2 minutes late.
All right,
Lummy,
Joe, it's Bubba.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time.
Okay. Joe,
to accept this call, press 5. To block this call, and you may begin speaking now.
Joe, it's Bubba. We're live.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, thank you for being on time, and we're ready to go. I didn't have any commercials to make you wait through. I was all ready to go and everything. So how you doing?
Not too bad.
How's your health?
You're still fighting, prostate cancer and lung cancer, but I'm holding my own.
Now, we have this video from Jorge, which is your husband, correct?
Correct.
Right. And now, did you guys get married? And by the way, there's a 29-year. You like him young, don't you, Joe? You really do.
He's 34. He's older than he looks.
Well, I know, but I think there's a 29-year difference there, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your first, out of all your husbands, Joe, let's go through the age differences.
Okay.
First husband
was Brian, and we were only 4 years apart.
All right, Brian. Now, where's Brian at?
He died in 2001.
Okay. And then who was number 2?
That would be Travis.
Travis, and he's dead.
Yes.
Man, you're like the Black Widow, Joe.
I know. It's horrible.
Joe, we know you didn't kill him. Travis killed himself, but that's poor. That's a lot to carry on your shoulders, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
It is, especially when you bought the gun that he killed himself with.
You think any Jorge's friends taking him aside and said, "Hey, listen, buddy, you better be careful." Joe's 2 for 2 right now, buddy. So Travis, how big of a difference was there with Travis?
Travis died when he was 25 and I was 55.
So 20 years there.
30.
30 years there. Oh my God,
yeah.
Joe, you're a pimp. So now
You know why?
Why?
Let me give you a reasonable explanation why, okay? I tried dating people my age, and they all want to be my business partner and tell me how to run my business.
When you're just looking for some hot sex and a good relationship.
Hey, you get them young, and you buy them a four-wheeler, a dune buggy, a PlayStation, and a bag of weed, and you can just say, hey, go play, and I'll be home at 9.
Right. I think that's the special sauce right there, my friend. So now Jorge has made a video pleading to, I think, Donald Trump to let you out, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think here it is right here.
Hola, muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Jorge Flores Maldonado. Soy el esposo de Tyler King, Joe Exotic. Sigo pidiendo clemencia.
Now, this is after he got out because it's my understanding, Joe, that you guys got married he was in your prison at one time.
Yeah, he was in here the whole time. We got married by proxy. Our lawyers stood in for us out in the free world.
So you can't get married actually if you're an inmate and he's an inmate. Why can't they let you? They don't let you marry in there.
Well, we filled out the application and the marriage license and everything, but they denied it.
So at that point, you get a hold of your lawyers, and they marry each other in the like power of attorney. One guy represents you, one guy represents him, and then all
Did they
of a
have to
sudden,
kiss?
I don't know. We weren't there.
now, Joe, let me ask you a question. Once you guys were married, was he allowed to stay with you in the bunk?
Oh, he wasn't even in the same building.
Oh, I think we talked about that. They had him in a whole other building, even though he was your husband or your wife, whichever one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, he was in another building. We kept it respectful, so we didn't have any problems with the prison.
Now, would the prison have had a problem if you guys were at the yard and making out and doing stuff? Would the prison have gotten? Is that illegal to do?
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's pretty frowned upon, not only by the prison but the other inmates.
Oh, here are you two over there, making out like a new couple, and they're it's good.
Yeah, that never happened.
That's a good way to get beat up, probably, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, so did you ever? Were you guys ever able to consummate the marriage?
We're on a recorded phone. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, you know what? Joe, I am so sorry. I completely, Joe, you got to understand, I'm not used to being recorded on the phone, and you are.
Joe broke it off.
So Joe, I apologize I was not trying to set you up. I'm not the feds. I'm truly your friend, and I want the best for you. Now, let me ask you this: now with your boyfriends, Joe? What role do you tend to play, the guy or the girl?
I always do a morning show with John Clay Wolf every Saturday, and he asks me questions like that too. And I'm only half gay because the front side's gay and the back side's not.
Oh, okay. That answers the question in a very, very, very in a very smart way. So your front side's gay and your back side's not, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I don't think this is going to be a problem. And if it is, remind me that we're on a recorded line. But I think Jorge left you some pictures. And so we just can't, and we showed the pictures last time you were on the air, but I didn't get a chance to ask you, how did Jorge do that? You'd have to be an acrobat. You'd have to be an acrobat in order to do that.
My social media team out there is pretty crazy. They sent me some pictures in the mail.
This call is from a federal prison.
Those are actually mushroom spores.
Oh. So those weren't butthole pictures.
No.
So we were thinking, okay, the only now George, Joe, I want you to try to picture this, because we were thinking that they really were butthole pictures. Okay, so we were thinking, we collectively have just been racking our brains as to how do you get that picture. And I want you to think about this. This is the way you could do it: is if you got a 2x4. And you wrapped the paper around the 2x4, then you inked up your BH and then sat on the 2x4, you could make that picture.
I think it'd still smudge a little more than that picture was.
Well, I mean, you probably take you more than one try, but I think after three or four 2x4s, you'd have her down after a while.
Well, unless you got a real cute little butt, you can just pull it off.
Yeah, I mean those were mushroom spores, but they look like a cute butt with me. So now Joe, here's what I'm thinking. Have you had your people contact Trump with regards to getting a pardon? I know you probably have, because I think you tried the first time he was in office.
Yeah, on a serious note, though, this time around, I've got some pretty big names out there that are pulling for me and have actually, got messages to Trump and got messages to Ed Martin, the new U.S. pardon attorney, and Alice Johnson, the pardon czar, like Joe Rogan, Matt Gaetz, Dana White. I've got some pretty good people out there.
I think you're missing one. I was given some pretty good intel. That Hulk Hogan was supposedly Nick Hogan had made contact with you about potentially helping you. I had heard that.
Well, I'm real close to the whole Hogan family.
Really?
Tana and Nick, I communicate with them pretty regularly. Terry, is real close to President Trump. So I'm hoping he has, but I haven't really confirmed that one.
But you're close to Tana and Nick, so you've probably, maybe by proxy they've asked Terry to put a word in for you.
Correct.
And so
and I know that I got my clemency number back 2 weeks ago, so they hand delivered my clemency application to the U.S. Pardon Attorney. So it's now, TMZ did a story, and had Alice Johnson on there live and just point blank asked her if I was being considered, and she said that it hadn't come across her desk yet. Well, it's there now because my people hand-delivered it to her.
Well, Joe, let me ask you a question. What you're being charged for is, trying to hire a hitman to kill Carol Baskin. Well, one, Carol Baskin, or whatever the hell her name is, she didn't get killed. Nobody tried to kill her. And I don't know, I don't think that, it's my understanding that you never had that conversation with a hitman or anybody. You just used your internet show to potentially threaten her, but that's, I would say that wouldn't carry near the amount of years if you only used your internet show to threaten her. And whether you admit to that or not, you do whatever you want. But what I'm saying is, it's like if you never spoke to an undercover cop or anything like that, how in the hell can they have you in prison for as long as was it 30 years? Your sentence?
22.
So it's my understanding, Joe, that you never spoke to any. I mean, fill me in on if I'm right or not.
Okay, well, first of all, on season 2 of Tiger King, the hitman and Jeff and James and Lauren have all admitted to perjury on world television, and that's why I can't understand why these charges are still against me. And then Alan Glover, the hitman, even took the film people and my lawyer to the zoo and showed him where he hid that murder weapon, where their plan was to kill me if they couldn't get me put in prison to take the zoo. So, there's a lot of questions people are asking is, well, how come no perjury charges have been filed, and how come no conspiracy to commit murder charges have been filed? Because I'm in here for murder for hire. But
who did they say, Joe, you supposedly hired?
Alan Glover, Jeff's drunk hired hand.
Yeah. So what evidence do they have of that? Is there a conversation?
All they had was his testimony. And see, that's the bad part about federal court is feds can convict you on hearsay where a state court can't.
So all they have is his testimony. They don't have anything recorded of you saying, "Hey, buddy." Nope. They don't have any of that. Nope. Nothing written. Nope. Nothing text. Nothing like that.
And on my internet TV show, I never threatened her. We did some scripted skits. Where I shot a blow up sex doll, and we'd done some pretty crazy shit in order to get people to watch the show to make money for the zoo.
Well, that's not illegal. That's all parody. That's all parody and hyperbole.
I never even verbally threatened Carol Baskin.
So you are solely in prison for murder for hire because the guy that ended up end up taking all of your stuff, Jeff, his hired gun, his assistant or whatever, told a federal agent that you had a conversation that you wanted him to kill Carol. That's all they got.
That's all they got.
Wow. To me, Joe, I would think that they'd have far more than that to put you away for 22 years.
That's the thing, over-sentenced.
This call is from a federal prison.
They had this thing pretty well orchestrated. If you look at my website, joeexoticofficial.com, on the evidence link, we have their telephones now. They've turned over their telephones. And, all of the people that were working for the government were recording the federal agents at the same time. Just for a rainy day. And, when they took the zoo away from Jeff, then they all turned on the feds and turned over their cell phones. Well, now we have 700-plus phone recordings of the federal agents telling them how to lie and how to manufacture evidence, okay, in order to put me away. But, this whole thing was politically motivated with Carol Baskin and Kamala Harris in order to pass the Big Cat Safety Act, so it would make it illegal to own a tiger in America, except for the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, which is Carol's organization.
So Carol worked with Kamala Harris to make these rules that you couldn't have any tigers like you had, and only tigers could be owned by her in this federation, and she's the one that owned the federation.
And that's it. That's exactly right. And we have screenshots, and my people have put them on Twitter and Instagram. We have screenshots of where Kamala Harris bragged on Twitter that she sponsored the bill that put me in prison and to go watch Tiger King. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And Joe, you've been in there for what, since 19?
I've been in there since 18, almost 8 years.
8 years.
Crazy.
See, we all watched Tiger King in 2020, so we didn't know that you were already in jail for 2.5 years at that point.
2 years before it was filmed. Yes.
And did you ever get a chance to watch it? Did they ever let you watch it?
I watched the first season. My lawyers brought it in because we're working on a lawsuit against Netflix, so I got to watch it on their computer when they brought it in. And I was pretty disgusted, really, because it had done nothing to help tigers.
Well, not only that, but I mean, it didn't. It at first kind of put you over, made you look like a good guy. Then they started bringing. I think Carol Baskin is really I don't understand how she got away scot-free. I think that in fact, our local sheriff, after Tiger King,
this thing's gonna hang up in like 15 seconds.
Okay.
So I just don't want to cut you off, but I'll talk to y'all next Monday, I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next Monday, buddy. We'll continue this on, okay, bud?
Tell everybody I said I appreciate their support out there.
And we will continue to support. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. If you remember right, guys, Chronister came out after Tiger King and said that they were gonna, and they did, reopen the investigation.
Yeah, on her ex-husband, right?
That's right.
Yes, and Chronister was really one of the only people, I wouldn't say stick up for Joe, but didn't necessarily take Tiger King's facts, and instead took Tiger King's information and tried to dig a little deeper as to if Carol had done something that they potentially overlooked. So I know that they took another look at it. I do know that. And he was the only one that did that. Nobody else. And I wouldn't say that Chad Chronister stuck his neck out for Joe, but I think Chad Chronister was pretty ballsy to step up and say, we'll take another, because a lot of people just want to just go ahead and back away and say, this is way too hot of a topic for me to deal with. The feds are involved. It was a federal deal. And I commend Chad for saying, I'm going to go put another set of eyes on this. Yep. And they did so. And he was nobody else did.
He's doing his job. He should have, the guy's still missing or dead, and he should investigate it. And I'm glad he did.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Rob the plumber.
Hi, Rob the plumber.
How's it going? I just wanted to give some shout-outs. You guys got me rolling all day today. What a great show.
Well, thank you. And, of course, this is our shout-out portion of our program. So,
yeah.
Shout-out. Well, hold on. You don't.
Shout-out to Lummy.
Oh, shout-out to Seth. Okay, Seth, take that shout-out.
I took it in, baby. It feels good.
Yeah. Okay, shout-out to Lummy. Lummy, you taking it?
Woohoo!
Okay, give me.
Yeah.
Continue on,
Shout
sir.
Shout-out to Bubba.
Oh, thank you, sir. Usually I am villainized and everybody hates me.
Don't call me sir. I'm a jerk.
You're a jerk?
I'm a real dick. Oh. Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a real dick.
Listen, you're a real dick. Thank you for being cool to me, my friends, because usually real dicks aren't cool to me, my friend. So I appreciate the kind words.
All right, Rob the plumber. Local Bubba Army.
Fantastic. We need all of those we can get, my friend. Thank you.
Local Bubba Army.
Yeah, we got that, Bubby.
Thank you, Rob the plumber.
Thank you, Rob the plumber. By what means, Rob the plumber, do you listen or watch or get the program?
I used to listen to 8:20 a.m. and now I'm on YouTube.
Okay, we love that. And if you can,
and Bubba Army Radio.
Bubba Army Radio HQ.
I actually made them put that app on all our work phones at work. TBP, baby.
Thank you. All right,
Tampa Bay Plumbing.
Tampa Bay Plumbing. Okay, your official Bubba Army plumber. Thank you, my friend.
That's right. Thank you.
All right. Time for shout out time. It's a new program, portion of the program. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Jason, Minnesota. Is this Bubba?
Hi, Jason. Yes. How are you, bud?
Hey, you were talking about that guy that they caught up here in Minnesota that shot those senators.
Yeah, the crazy dude. Yes.
Yeah. Did you hear how they caught him?
No, it didn't. No, you guys probably, you being, I'm assuming you're from Minnesota, you might have way better coverage than we're getting, and we'll probably get the coverage that you guys got right now later on today, but go ahead and give it to us.
Some guy had a trail camera out, like a game cam, a cellular one, and this camera picked him up and sent it to the guy's phone, and he turned him in.
People up north, yeah, that catch the deer and the moose and, you know, all the wildlife that might be traipsing through your property at night. And so the guy got an alert that his trail cam had gone off, and it was the bad guy. And so the guy did, hold on now. But you know what? Here's what probably sucks. That guy that had the trail cam is single-handedly the reason why this guy got apprehended, correct?
Yes.
They'll probably end up screwing him out of that $50,000 because he didn't call Crime Stoppers first. It's the worst. Like Dan was saying, he's known people that were entitled to the reward that, you know, Crime Stoppers or who else puts forward. But if you don't procedurally do it correctly, they screw you out of the award. You're actually supposed to call Crime Stoppers first and then 911. Poor guy's going to probably end up getting screwed. I hope he doesn't. I hope he gets the money.
So do I.
So that guy's a true hero, my friend. He really is. I hope that the national media and everybody identifies this guy, because it's hard telling how this guy had some survival skills. I think he would have been hard to get. I do.
I figured they would have found him with a bolt in his head.
So, yeah, well, I think the guy called in and then they came in. I think the guy was like hiding under some bushes and the canine flushed him out, didn't they?
Well, and they had the drones up too.
So, all right. Hey, thank you for the
drones with the infrared.
Thank you for the information, my friend.
I take care. Bye.
Yeah, like there's no way you could be on foot and in a 15, 20, 30 square mile area, and they're not going to find you. Because just when you thought they only had the helicopter to get you, now they got all these drones that they can throw up that have infrared as well. So they could have literally, 10, 15 drones from every different agencies. Well, I mean, they just had to make sure they don't fly into each other.
Exactly.
As they're trying to find this bad guy. And what a horrific crime. I mean, Steve, we've all gotten that late door knock, at our home, and you're out of it, and they're saying police, and you don't think, and you see the lights out, you see the squad car, you see what looks to be a police officer through the window.
You open the door.
And you open the door. And, if you had a gun because somebody was pounding on your door, you immediately put it away because you don't want to open the door with the cops with the gun.
Right.
So, I mean, what a horrible crime.
It is horrible. And she was supposedly a really stand-up person and really did what she thought was the right thing in her job. Sad, really sad. Kids, the whole thing.
Here is Fox. I watched a little bit of the parade, and I thought it was pretty stupid, to be honest with you.
History lesson.
Underwhelming.
Very much so, and I think that it just gives Trump another opportunity for people to hate on him. It was so unnecessary. It was on his birthday. It's everything that people try to say that he is. He just validates. I think it would have made more sense. Our country is going to be 250 years old next year. Next July 4th is our country's 250th year. That's our country, 1776. 2026, that's 250 years. I think, and the last time they had a big military parade like this was to celebrate little did we know that war really wasn't over. But George H.W. with Barbara sat there in 1991, and we had somewhat of a military parade for the victory. And what was it, Desert Storm?
Yep.
Desert Storm. And Norman Schwarzkopf led the troops and Representative McDill, and that made sense.
But I mean, this was Bubba. I mean, it's not often that America gets the chance to sing "Happy Birthday" to a president.
I know.
You know, so I mean, that was kind of special.
Yeah, but it's everything that they say he is, and I think that he would have shot down all people that say that Trump's a megalomania, that Trump's a narcissistic king. Had he done this just next year on July 4th. Then nobody could have said nothing, because at that point, you're like, listen, it's our country's 250th anniversary of our country, and for that, we're going to celebrate it and roll out, our military stuff. It's not Trump's birthday. Now I know that they made this the Army's 250th birthday, but that's not near as, I don't know, of a shiny, cool object as our country turning 250. So I wish he wouldn't have done it. I just don't think that there was any really upside to it. And instead it just solidifies or validates what his opponents say that he is. And I just wish he wouldn't have. But, Lummy, we wouldn't have been able to get great coverage like this.
Oh, of course.
With us now is former defense...
By the way, Fox covered it, of course, I think Fox covered it from the time they were setting up the folding chairs to the time that they were putting them away.
Yeah, that C-SPAN.
Oh, my God. I think Fox had it on for, 6-7 hours, Lummy?
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Like, there's so many other things happening in our world. I'm going to have to go change. I'm going to have to go watch the WNBA.
So how long was the actual parade?
Oh my God,
it went
was
on forever.
From
3 hours, right?
Maybe
more?
4.
Yeah, it just went on and on.
Yeah, they started at 6 to 9:30.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. And it was stupid.
Right. And I'm patriotic. I 250 year anniversary for the Army. It's all cool, but they could have done that really concise, an hour, some fireworks, better flyovers. Make it a show, but it was.
And again, I think it would have worked better on 4th of July.
For sure.
Far better.
For sure.
It takes the Trump's birthday part out of it. It takes it being about him, even though he was trying to make it not about him. It
gave them ammunition. You're right.
Right, and so he just said, "Let's go and let you know next year, 250 years, our country's been in. I'm going to have the biggest military parade ever." Nobody would have said anything. They would have said, "Hey, our country's 250 years old. We're going to celebrate it on July 4th, which is the independence of our country."
Yep.
Nobody would have been able to say nothing.
Yep.
So anyway, Fox. Lummy, when they go live, sometimes they get they got to throw it to somebody, some kind of analyst to break down what's happening. So they throw it to this chick, and she's not even on the parade route. She's in her apartment. Now
she handled this like a real American. She got drunk during the parade, and then they wanted to talk about it.
So two things: one, she's absolutely hammered, and two, if I'm Aspen Dental or the Dental Castle, I'm getting a hold of her agent and fixing that grill of hers, because she might have some of the worst teeth. Usually people on TV are mindful of their teeth. That's the first thing a person sees is your teeth. So people on TV are usually mindful of your teeth. This might be one of the worst grills ever. This is definitely the worst TV grill ever. And I think Fox quickly realizes, Lummy, that she's drunk, and they cut it short. It was supposed to go, I think, longer. And so wait till you see. This is brilliant.
With us now is former Defense Intel agent.
By the way, Lummy, I don't know who this brunette is, but she's hot.
I can't remember. She's a former Raiders cheerleader.
She's hot.
Is she really?
Yeah.
She's hot as hell.
Agency officer Rebecca Koffler.
Now, hold on. Let me see. What's Rebecca's credentials? Hold on here.
She's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer?
Yep. And she's on Fox all the time.
With us now is former Defense Intel Agency officer Rebecca Koffler.
All right,
Rebecca, what are your thoughts?
Defense Intel Agency. She worked for the government, and so she's an expert at probably all these weapons, and she's going to give it to you
tonight on the incredible symbolism and
look.
the messaging that we saw here tonight.
Not only do the teeth pop, but wait till you hear the sobriety.
from the Commander-in-Chief on the Army's 250th birthday.
I am so excited, Emily and Lucas Tomlinson. Everybody, like, this is incredible. Finally, the United States is back.
Hold on. Finally, we're back. Now we've never it's like we have been getting our ass kicked for like the last 50 years, and finally we're back. This parade shows us that we're back.
I want to really thank all of our Army, Navy, and Air Force officers.
Did you forget about the Marines?
Oh my God!
She kind of turned Asian on us.
Who have been sacrificing their lives, literally. Their families have been contributing to the mission. Most of the time for the past quarter of a century, because of the mismanagement
B-29 with two P-51s
of the administrative states. They've been fighting these foreign wars, but with our new in chief, Donald J. Trump, they are prioritizing America first. And I want to thank these officers for all of these sacrifices and all of the hardships that their families have been doing. Lawrence Jones, you are doing, you're rocking, man. Like, you guys are fair, Lucas.
Look at,
they're frozen, Bubba. They don't know.
They are, and
they've never done this like we have.
And they got a producer in their ear saying, "Wrap it up, guys."
There's no way that those two could have handled Stein versus Tuttle last week.
No.
They're freezing up with the drunk toothy lady.
Yeah, the drunk toothy lady. God, I can't get how hot that brunette is.
She's amazing. Perfect
She got
body,
a
too.
big rack on. I mean, look at a rock on her though, Lummy. Somebody's got that tied up.
Yeah,
I sent you an Instagram.
We're thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you, and thank you for your service too. Well, our final thoughts on this history.
She's got kind of who's the girl? She's got kind of who's the one that married Prince William?
Oh, Meghan Markle.
She's got kind of a Meghan Markle look, does she not?
Yeah.
Historic and patriotic celebration when we return.
Can't wait.
Let me.
Pretty nice on Instagram.
What?
I sent it to you.
Oh, you.
Emily Campano.
You're going to send him down the pervert hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Oh, that's her husband?
Hold on here.
Sorry.
What?
All right, that's that. Let's she's in the classic cars too.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. Hold on here. Hold on. Is that her husband?
No, that's giving it to her dad.
Okay, I was saying. That shows like her behind the scenes kind of deal. Oh man, yeah, she's a smoke show. Yeah, she is hot.
How old is she, Lummy? Did it say when you were looking her up?
I can look it up. I think she's in her 30s.
Here we go.
So in store today, Johnny Joey Jones, Jessica to our left, Jesse Waters, and the man who needs no introduction, Greg Gutfeld. See you at
Why
5.
did you introduce me? That's so stupid.
I get tired. I get tired of him sometimes. Oh, look at a little gym rat.
Oh.
Look at that.
Wow.
Says she's
Chris, you
45.
killed it tonight.
Yeah, force of habit, I suppose.
And what are you saying, Lummy?
It says she's 45.
She's
What?
45.
That's what it says.
Damn.
This is a guy, a gentleman who attended the No Kings rally in Los Angeles.
Right here, if this continues, LA's not going to let it go. We are here.
You guys better let it go, buddy.
They have to realize that no one came to this country. Country came to us. We are here.
Yeah, and that was in the 1800s. And okay?
Well, I think he served also, so I think he's got that.
I understand.
Yeah.
But to say, you didn't. We were here first would be like the way the Native Americans would be. They really have that valid point. I think California dwarfed into Mexico in the mid 1800s. So you can't play that card right now because this guy wasn't around.
We're not going anywhere. Okay, we serve this country right here. Look, I give my life to this country, but we got to do it right. Not for this jerk, not for this guy.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for saying hello. Really?
No problem. Lummy, ICE arrested 70 more. I did see where Trump is burning a timeout, and I think he's going to go in front of the left. I think he's trying to
rolling it back a little bit.
I think he is rolling it back where they have gone into these big companies that employ migrant workers,
a lot of farmers,
hotels, and he's going to kind of roll it back where he meets with the employers to see how many undocumented people they have, and they're like supposed to be super upfront, and then they all get like work visas and can stay. If they're gainfully employed and they're working, we don't have to necessarily. That's what I think everybody is most concerned about.
Man, there was one farmer. I think he had 76 of his employees taken, and he said he didn't know how he was going to get by. And then they did an interview with another farmer who was saying how he does employ illegal immigrants, and he said that if they were legal, then they would be able to go make more money. And he had a guy with him for the last 20 years.
Right.
So I mean,
this is the only problem.
There are people that need them
with this law. Is that they have to kind of figure out which of the illegals have been here for a long time and
who's essential
and who's essential and who's good. And I don't know how they're going to have to figure that out.
ICE is touting what it says is the largest worksite immigration roundup.
So they rolled into this meat packing plant and rounded up 70 of them, and I don't think they can pack any more meat.
In Nebraska. They say more than 70 people were arrested under suspicion of being in the U.S. illegally. Now, ICE also says a migrant assaulted federal officers. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Ian Lee joining us live from Omaha. Ian, what do we know about that operation?
Hi, Elizabeth. What I know is what I heard from a supervisor. She was there when it happened. She described how about 9:30 in the morning, ICE agents and other federal agents had surrounded this building behind me, Glen Valley Foods. Then they moved in saying that they were there to check people's work permits. She told me that people were then rounded up. People tried to scatter, but they were quickly gathered. They tried to hide. They were also gathered. And then they were put into different groups. You had American citizens, people with work permits, and people who they say were undocumented. Those people who were undocumented were then put into buses and they were shipped away. I spoke with a lawyer who's helping to represent some of these families, dozens of them, saying that right now the main struggle is trying to find where the people who are taken from this facility are right now. He said that without legal representation, the likelihood that they will be deported is exponentially increased. So that is the urgency right now for families here who have loved ones who are taken by ICE.
Ian, we've been covering these ICE protests from coast to coast, specifically in Southern California. We also covered San Antonio earlier this evening. I'm curious, how is the community where you are reacting to these ICE arrests?
They're probably mad as hell.
Here's the thing, Elizabeth. Omaha, Nebraska is a meat processing town. They got factories all over this place, and it is a draw for migrants, both documented and undocumented. And so there's a real chill effect in the city right now, talking to people saying that they're afraid that this is just the tip of the iceberg, that there could be more raids at other plants. So there is a lot of fear right now that ICE isn't done with the city.
Again, I think this whole ICE thing, and you guys help me, needs to be refined somewhat, because there are a lot of industries that really do rely on migrant workers. I mean, hell, our strawberry, aren't we one of the largest producers of strawberries in America? I think we are.
Yep.
And in California.
And so I think that, and there probably are some workers. I know a couple people that have farms that have illegal migrant workers that literally have been working for them for 20 years. They've never caused any problems. They live like in a trailer on the farm, and they now, they have grandchildren. And so I think if you do a dragnet of just, if you're documented or undocumented, you go or don't go, I think that you have to take it a step further and potentially maybe vet some of the good ones that have been here very long that have not caused a problem, and have some type of asylum for them, or get them signed up or something. But then again, you probably have, some employers that don't have to pay employee taxes and can pay cash only and is circumventing the system as well.
Did they not know that this was going to hinder certain businesses that were very important to how America runs?
I don't know, Steve. What do you think about that? I mean, when you made this big ICE crackdown deal and they came in and boss hogged their way like they had to know that it could have some blowback with regards to some industries that rely heavily on those workers.
Yeah, they definitely knew, and this was anticipated. And the thing that we really should just do is get them documented, from undocumented to documented.
Speed up the process.
Have some rules.
Rather than just handcuffing and sending them away, actually spending some time with them and their employer. Right? And get a little bit of a background.
Right.
Like, this guy's been here 10 years and has never caused any problem. Okay, well, then let's get him documented.
And if your employer vouches for you, and if you do something wrong, then he has to go back to Mexico with you.
But I think it all starts with communication. Rather than just boss hog your way in and either you're documented or you're not. I think that everybody potentially, not everybody, but a lot of people could have a different situation or story, and then at that point you on the spot document them, fingerprint them.
Yes, get them out of the shadows.
Issue them some type of documentation so that they're in the system, paying taxes, and they're not just They're not just handcuffed and put on a bus and sent back, but they're actually processed and given asylum and able to work here.
The problem is that a lot of them don't want that, because then they will probably lose their job because their wages go up. That's what certain Mexicans say. The minute they're documented, they pay taxes, and they can't be working on their table anymore.
Well, they'll probably
well, then you need to go back to Mexico. You got one or two chances. You want to get documented and pay some taxes and stick around, or you want to go back to Mexico.
But if they're meeting with farmers, Lummy, and they're meeting with guys who run meat packing plants and everything, and then they're gonna have to figure out, like, okay, if we somehow expedite the process because you've been here for however long, you've been paid taxes or whatever, you've been a great member of the illegal community, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to let you stay, and your boss signed off that you're a somewhat decent person. So
oh no, I'm not saying like those people. I'm just saying that there's some people that don't want, because they want to.
There's some of the Mexicans.
Yeah, like $4 an hour. They know if they have to bump up their wage to like $10 an hour, they're not going to get hired. I mean, Bubba, the tree guy that Average Joe was talking to, he's a citizen now, and his wage, his cost has almost doubled since he became a citizen like a year ago, because he has to pay.
I didn't go with
taxes.
him. I didn't go with him
because he was a little bit more expensive, probably.
No.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue, but at the end of the day, we need to know who's in our country, who isn't. If we're going to be paying for health care and education and
housing,
all of it, it's just madness. There's not another country in the world that does it like we do, and it's just a hot mess, and it needs to be.
And and listen, here's the problem:
figured out.
Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, all. Donald Trump's first term, all had the same immigration policy. All of them did.
Yep.
And this bozo that came in here and decided to listen, come on in. Don't even worry. We're going to knock half of this fence down and trample down some of this barbed wire. There's going to be all these porous holes in our border. Just get your ass in here. Now Trump has to be the bad guy and wrap his hands or wrap his arms around this problem. But every president, except for the one he took over, had very much the same policy he has.
Yep.
Except we had this bozo that allowed 12 million of them in here, and that's the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yep.
Lummy, we got another female teacher hooking up with it. I don't know if this is my favorite. We're going to have to dissect it and get through it next, okay?
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
district lands a substitute team where documents allege the victims and the other news.
We just hit 180,000 on what? On Facebook. Oh, look at that, 180 on the dot.
My backside is gay.
No, his front side's gay.
No, my backside's gay.
Oh, yours. Okay.
But not my front.
That was an interesting way to answer that question.
Yeah.
Well, he's been asked a lot. Gay men love to be whimsical. Hey, Ryan, did you send me the... Is it from you? Or did you have somebody else? I got something here from Jason Krizik in Iowa.
So something did come in?
Yeah, but it's not from Ryan. Ryan said he sent something. This was just in the mailbox. Oh, the eBay. Okay, thanks, buddy. That's it. Thank you, man.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Oh, you didn't want to pay $30 to have this shipped again? I think Ryan's afraid to ship stuff now. I don't blame you, man. I still, when I go into new post offices, I still feel like I don't know where to put everything. Very intimidating. The post office will get you, man. Yeah, we gotta rise. We gotta rise. I have not been. There's only a couple. Is there why? Is there a rise up? Is there a rise up there?
At John Costica. John Costica, $100.
Johnny K.
Army tips.
Thank you, buddy.
What's pirate ship? Animal face.
I didn't even check my PayPal.
Is that a strain? Animal face.
Nothing today on PayPal. Nothing, Lummy. Johnny K stepped up though.
Thank you, Johnny K. Paper towel Willie.
It's important to find a shipper you can trust. Rise is awesome. Rise is super expensive. Pacers in 3. I just went to Curaleaf. They're cheap as fuck, man. They gave me a 60% first time discount. But Trulieve is still. Yeah, the places with I'm pretty loyal to one place, but I'm gonna start shopping around a little bit. Edibles are too expensive at Trulieve. $20 for an edible. I mean.
Is that how much you're charging you?
Yeah, I could eat an edible in one day. Like it's not worth it. All right, I'm gonna tell Phoebe about pirate ship. Sounds pretty cool. Oh no, the worst is Trulieve. It works for me, man. It works for me. I'm not saying it's the only thing out there. It's been by my house for a while. They've been good to me.
broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Today's after show, probably call it about 40, 45. I got some research to do. Randy Couture, the UFC Hall of Famer, and I've had him on the show tons. We'll Zoom him at 11 o'clock today. He's in the process of getting his Pro Mod NHRA drag license, and Randy from SCAG is going to promote him driving a Pro Mod NHRA hot rod.
Do you feel relieved that this is one celebrity now that you don't have to promise a SCAG to?
I'll actually ask Randy. Hey, I'll ask, do you got a SCAG? Because I got one.
I hope he does.
I'm sure he does. Here's the story. I didn't know that this was when she's
John Kostika, $100.
Thank you, John. It's 2 for the day, and I need it. Kansas substitute teacher 39 had sex with 2 students during a boozy midweek encounters. Where were these teachers when we were growing up?
They weren't inviting us to their party, Bubba.
Right.
Yeah.
Bubba, you got to get a shirt made that says, "Where were these teachers when we were growing up?"
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
It's just once a week, man.
Where were these female teachers when we were growing up? Whitney Scholl, age 39, a former substitute teacher, is accused of engaging in sex acts with 2 teens during midweek encounters. One of the encounters was consensual, while the other was non-consensual, and occurred when the alleged victim was unconscious. So this bitch was so horny that she was trying to ride out a dude that'd been knocked out? Wow. Is that what they're saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's what the kid's claiming.
Yeah, that's what he's claiming now after his mom found his phone.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
She also is accused of attempting to hold down the wrists of a third teen to engage in a sex act, but was unsuccessful.
Uncle Eric, $50.
She's been charged with unlawful. And think about her life is ruined. She's going to have to register as a sex offender.
Because she wrote out a passed out child?
Yeah.
And she tried to hold one down. But
not a child. Yeah. He was 16.
Yeah. And the other one was able to fight her off at least.
Other news tonight, an investigation into a central Kansas school district lands a substitute teacher in jail. Whitney Scholl is charged in Reno County with several crimes, including unlawful sexual relations, aggravated sexual battery, and hosting an underage drinking party.
Hell yeah. Again, where were these female teachers when we were growing up?
Documents allege the victims in the case are 16 and 17.
For 16, she's an 8. For 16.
Yeah, let's see the rig.
Student
I need to see the rig.
Who were enrolled at the school Scholl worked at. Scholl was an emergency substitute, or has an emergency substitute teaching license that only permits her to work in the Nickerson School District. Last month, the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office told KSN News the Reno County Sheriff's Office asked them to investigate students and staff. On Friday, the Sedgwick County District Attorney was approved to be a special prosecutor in this case, and he filed charges. The Nickerson superintendent telling KSN News Scholl was a part-time substitute teacher until this past April. Scholl has bonded out of jail. Her first appearance in court is not yet scheduled.
Trouble Up Spice, $20.
Let me say 40.
Sounds good.
45, something like that. We good? Randy Couture at 11, talking about his NHRA debut with his SCAG Pro Mod. So we'll do that at 11 o'clock. Steve, appreciate you, my friend. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me. I'll be here.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummit.
It's Seth, co-host and president of podcasting.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter programming.
You're wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council. Co-host J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.